to be able to bear children. It's just some women out here in cases that can't, but women bear children. So
no, I don't grant that because not all women can bear children. So that your necessary condition would have to apply to all women.
There are rare cases. Everything is not going to be the same. There are going to be rare cases. It's not like, 50% of women can have children and 50% of women can't.
I mean, like I said, so why don't you think trans women are women?
Because they're not women.
That's just circular. Go ahead.
They don't experience anything. They can't have children. They don't have periods. They don't have the emotions of a woman.
I don't grant that because not all of them have their period. Not all women have period, or well, in this sense, not all females have periods. Not all females.
But it does not matter that not all.
So I don't grant that.
It's design. It's nature. In nature,
I don't grant that.
There are rare cases. If I have a car and it malfunctions, it's still a car. It just malfunctions.
I don't grant those as necessary conditions. Like, what are we talking about? So necessary conditions have to apply to all females. So go ahead and try again.
I can't try again. I can't.
So are you conceding?
No, I'm not conceding.
Okay, so then try again. What is a necessary condition of being a woman?
How about you tell me what the necessary condition is of being a woman?
I asked you, stop burden shifting.
No.
So I'm on TikTok, and a part of the panel, but I'm also listening. Hey, come on from the UK. I'm listening to the debate about whether or not trans women are women. And I want y'all to listen and get ready with me as we talk through this. Because I just want us to be able to see how these things happen in real time. Can y'all hear it, by the way?
Name the necessary condition.
Can y'all hear it clearly? I just want to make sure.
So name the necessary condition if you're not going to concede. How about
I've already told you what a woman is. What it takes to be a woman. So why do you keep on asking me the same question over and over again?
Are you going to name the necessary condition?
Is this better, y'all? Oh, her baby is
I'll even accept the necessary condition from anybody on here.
You know you can't do that, Max. The timers are on.
Oh. I'll accept the necessary condition from Ava.
Shut up.
Yeah, so, NA, are you going to be able to name the necessary condition or no?
I've already told you what the necessary condition is. I'm not going to keep
I don't grant the necessary condition.
At the end of the day, I told you what a woman is. Men can't have children. Men can't have parents. They can't do things that women can do. And it's that simple. There's a difference between a trans woman
and... So, MH, just like come down a little bit. Not all females are able to give birth.
If you are saying that, it does not matter. That's how women are born.
So
they're going to be
a necessary condition has to apply to
humans are supposed to be black, white, all different colors. Some of them come out having vitiligo. Some of them come out albinos. What are you saying? There's a standard for everything.
Yeah, MA, a necessary condition has to apply to all females. So again, what is the necessary condition to being a woman?
Y'all, these debates are really funny.
She didn't give any necessary condition because the necessary condition has to apply to all.
There's things you put your energy into, and you're not worth it at all.
Oh, yeah.
So you're conceding.
Mind you, I just debated this same young lady, and we did not have this type of energy.
It's not that hard.
I just debated her, and I didn't think to go on live with y'all. But the thing that I think is really interesting is that we are debating this when there are white men who are unaliving and harming women every day. But we're not having 7-hour conversations about white men being dangerous.
I'm sorry.
You couldn't even debate me, so what makes you think you're going to be able to debate somebody else? What are you talking about? You can't even name the necessary condition to be.
I already told you.
I'm not going to keep on it down a little bit, guys.
If you don't accept what I said, you just don't accept it.
Yeah, because the necessary condition has to apply to all women.
Okay, guys. All right. Thank you both of you for that debate.
He's annoying.
Okay, guys. All right. Yeah, thank you both of you for that debate. Finlay, I know you've been waiting for a minute. We just do have one more new person, so I'll introduce them and then I'll let you debate, of course. Hey, Laura Leah? Laurie? I'm so sorry if I butchered it. I probably did. How old are you? You there, babe?
He was born in 2008. I'm gonna be 18 this year, so.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, you're still 17. You could have lied and said 18 though. And I would have believed you. All right, Okay, all right. So I'm gonna have you debate with Kay up there, and then fight. I know. I said I will get to. So after they're done, I'll let you debate. With hopefully we'll get another yes at that point in time.
So I'm debating
with Finley. Yeah. All right, go ahead, guys. Your turn starts now.
The comment for saying that they want me to debate with MA6.
Well, he hasn't debated at all, so it wouldn't quite be fair to him.
All right.
Yeah, he's been waiting.
Okay, so Finn, why are trans women? Tell me quick.
Okay, so a woman.
This guy
is
works
somebody
me.
Who feels like a woman in any sense of the word.
Wait, I'm so sorry. I thought you said you don't believe that they're women.
Pardon?
When I asked you, are trans women women, you said no, right?
Say yes.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Here, let me. So sorry, Kay. I got you. You can debate with MA. After he debates. Fight. Okay, so that's perfect. Fight. You can debate now. I'll reset your timers. Go ahead, guys.
Right. So MA, why are trans women? Tell me quick.
No.
This guy is so funny. Like, I know that he wants to be an ally, but he's like, tell me why trans women aren't women, quick.
So, Fight, are you gonna unmute quick?
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, no, cool. So why do you think a trans woman isn't a woman?
Because a woman itself is the verbal expression of a type of female human once it reaches a certain part of the human female.
I kind of like him. He's a little different.
Why shouldn't a trans woman be like that? Because from what I know, it's a 50-50 shot in the organ whether you become a male or a female. Your brain just decides what it wants to be. So I ask you, why shouldn't they be?
I love the way that people from the UK frame their questions.
Species, we have a binary system where there are males who insert life and females that hold life and give it. And we have different processes that we go through our life development. Our life cycles are different in different ways. So the reason why trans women cannot be considered women is because they're born on the binary of the male side. And once they reach what would be womanhood, is considered manhood because it takes place after the male teenage stage of the male human life cycle.
Okay. Why should somebody be forced into a side of male or female if they don't want to be?
Well, that's when it comes to internal reasoning. There's a lot of things in this world where you question, why am I not this and why am I not that? That's equivalent to me getting jealous of a grasshopper. A grasshopper doesn't have to pay rent. Why do I have to pay rent? So I can't just go around identifying as a grasshopper. I would have to accept who I am. And once I get through the hardships of that, then I become a better person and happy in my own skin.
Yeah, well, some people just can't do that. And why are you comparing transitioning from a human to a different kind of animal? That's very different to transitioning into a different gender.
Because of the course of the bare bones of the argument is, why can't something that's not something identify as the thing that is not? So I just applied that logic to something different. That's all.
Okay, well, that just doesn't work.
Why not?
I kind of want to debate this guy because I feel like he's the only person that's willing to have a divisive debate that doesn't feel
physically impossible to turn yourself into another.
That doesn't also feel like disrespectful.
But you can change into a different gender. So, like Hope said earlier, she's transitioned, I believe, surgically, she said, but I can't remember fully. But why shouldn't somebody actually be who they want to be?
Great question. All right, so first of all, shout out to Hope. I'm proud that that person wrote a book and everything. I want their success to reign. And what you said about the grasshopper is how people such as myself feel about the idea of a man transitioning to a woman. You can't become, it's physically impossible, biologically impossible, and you can't really do it. But why shouldn't someone be something that makes them happy? Is that the core of your question? I don't want to misquote you.
Yeah, well, why shouldn't somebody do something that makes them happy? Like, if you've, I'm going to say this as a metaphor, but if you have a hobby that makes you extremely happy and you want to do that
I
every
love
day,
his accent.
why
Extremely
shouldn't you?
happy.
Okay, so
I
you're
love
exactly one
it.
of my students. So I'm a paraprofessional. I work with autistic students, and they all have different aspects of their disability. So I had one student who loved to chew like the skin between his thumb and his index finger because it felt good and it made him smile. But at the end of the day, I was always taking him to the nurse because he's constantly bleeding and he has a scar in his hand that won't heal. And one of our staff members does that as well. I don't know if you picked it up from her, but that's the case. That makes him happy. Why should I stop him from biting himself?
Because that's
Well,
detrimental.
you
Trans
should-
people
if somebody
transitioning is not
does
detrimental.
something that makes them happy, and you're just saying about a scar and bleeding from the hand. If somebody does something and they believe that they can do it and it makes them happy, why shouldn't they?
I think that this is one of those
Because
times
they don't have the
where
wisdom to understand
I think
the full
that
capacity of
trans
what they
people
do,
have
because
to be
we
the
can see the end
people
game where they don't.
holding
We see the
this
infection in his
conversation,
hand,
because
he
when
doesn't
we're
see it, he's
not,
capable.
it
And
can
it's the
be
same thing with
difficult.
transitioning. There are detransitioners that explain the long run. And there's actually a case where there was a lawsuit that happened in New York City. It was referenced where there's someone that claimed that they were egged on by teachers, staff members to get transitional surgery, and they was upset about it. So they sued. I don't want to misquote the number, but you could look into it. Just type in lawsuit transition in New York City.
Okay, but
Again,
you're mentioning about IQ and not having wisdom, stuff like that. Let's take somebody. Cut out for a second there. You're mentioning about IQ and wisdom. If somebody has an IQ of 60 and they're in full adulthood, and you say, oh, they don't have the wisdom to do any of this, why should we let them? How does that make sense? They're still human. They're still a person.
Well, it makes sense if you want to prevent harm. So, for instance, with me, right, I was a pretty good student, and I like to think so. And I hung around with specific people that everyone kept warning me to stay away from. And I said, you guys don't know. I know. I can think on my own. I know how to identify good traits in people. And then in the end, they were always right, and I was always wrong. And that was my teenage experience. So that humbled me to realize sometimes there's things in this world I just don't know, and I need to listen sometimes.
yeah, just like the experience that trans people have
Okay.
telling you about our
Do you want to
experiences.
ask me anything? Because
Yes.
when it's been me directed at you the whole time, I want you to go at me.
That's kind of you, Finley. Thank you very much. I wanted to pry with you. So, when did you first believe that trans women were women, and how?
I've always believed it ever since I was born. If somebody's told me they were a woman or they were a man, I believe them. It's what they are, and that's what they want to be.
That's it.
So it's a trust thing. Do you have any of the earliest memory where you came across the or was not exposed, but when you first came across the idea of transgenderism? Do you have a point in your life you remember that?
The first time I experienced it, I believe I was 6, and somebody in an older class in my school made a transition. My school did a massive thing about it. We all respected them.
Good. How was that person treated by your peers?
Absolutely fucking amazing.
Good. So through that person, you really believe that they're a woman because their happiness was evidence. You saw the smile on their face, and it made you feel fulfilled for their fulfillment.
Yeah, exactly. And why should somebody not be allowed to do something that clearly makes them a very happy person?
Good. Yeah, so now I see the key core reason why that you stand tall on this, because it comes from, I don't want to make it less than it is because it's a real experience and I will never disrespect that. But it seems to me that in your personal experience, what them being able to transition or become what they saw themselves as brought them happiness. And that's the core thing that you're holding on to here, which is totally human and it's totally understandable. And what I'm saying is that when it comes to the truth or objective truth, sometimes it hits us really hard and it can devastate us. But coming to terms with it will be the best possible thing for us, because then real change can actually happen the right way.
Okay.
The right way is where I find issue, because
if somebody wants to be called,
what do you mean by the right
and
way?
They want to be happy. Why shouldn't they be happy? Like
They should be. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. We've got in my country. I live in UK. We have a massive issue with depression caused by other people, shit like that. Bullying, crap that should never be the case, but it is. But if we can do something that makes them feel happier, why shouldn't we?
Because again, we can identify, or we can use references to people that has walked that path already and came across something so devastating they try to warn others of. For instance, if you look at the Vice had an interview where it called detransitioners or something. And there was older people in their 40s, 50s talking about how they miss having their unit. They wish they would have had children. And there's this part of the lifestyle that they never came to terms with because they were young most of their life. And you just don't see it until you reach that certain age.
Okay.
Yeah, but we also have trans elders.
Debate,
Is this a debate between a transphobe and an ally? Is he a transphobe? I don't.
All right, thank you.
I think
all.
based off
Thank
of
you for
the
that
way that
debate.
he's
It was a very
speaking,
pleasant
it's
debate.
giving transphobe. But I don't think that he navigates his life
Hey,
as a person who engages in transphobia.
Bertina,
It seems to me like he's just a person that doesn't agree, but it doesn't seem like he goes around
Bernita?
making
Sorry,
people's
Bernita,
lives
sorry.
difficult, if
Hey,
that
how
makes
old are you?
sense.
Hey, you there, Bernita? Here, let me send you an invite to unmute.
So, you know. Okay.
Bernita, baby, you there? Bernita. Okay, I'm assuming she's probably like got a call or something. Thanks for coming up. If you're still here, or if you're here later, you can definitely come back up. But hey, oh that's it. Okay, let me add a couple more peeps. We're just looking for a no, right? Yeah. Hey Randy, welcome back. I know you're a no, I believe. Hey Randy, welcome back. I know you're a no.
Good to be here.
Thank you. All right, so for
Randy
next
sounds
one,
like a chain smoker.
I know MA and K. You guys want to kind of go at it? I was assuming earlier. I think that was like our last plan. You guys were supposed to go next.
Yeah.
Okay.
MA, are you there?
I'm there.
I'm there.
Alright,
I love it.
Perfect. Let's debate.
Some of these people are so funny.
So why are trans women? Tell me.
This guy is hilarious.
Trans women aren't women because they can have their children, they can have periods, and they do not have X chromosomes.
Okay, so let me ask you this: does God the Father have XY chromosomes because he's a man?
God is not a man or a woman. God doesn't have chromosomes. That's a completely different category than man.
Does he have XY chromosomes though?
But if that's
God
the
is
case,
not a
then
human.
Yeah, hence why.
so we can acknowledge a non-human being, but we can't acknowledge real trans people.
A social construct.
That is
What about
interesting.
Superman? He's called the Man of Steel, right?
Superman isn't real.
Oh my gosh, you're missing the point.
Right.
Does he have XY chromosomes? Randy, please. So are you getting the point?
No, I'm not.
Plus, your answer was a logical fallacy, anyways, because not all women can have.
Yes, but they're born like it's cases where some people can have women, some women can have children.
I miss you at the
Said that,
Tallahassee
like,
night. You were in Florida a few
again, a
hours
car
away
is a
from me. I
car
should have
regardless of
come.
its malfunctions or not.
Oh,
But it's a car, so it's the same thing for a woman.
False equivalency fallacy.
At the end of the day,
yeah.
a woman has a womb. Men do not, like, I don't understand. At the end of the day, a woman has a vagina.
But why
Men
are
don't
we?
have a vagina.
Why are we? But you know the thing that's interesting is that when I do my debates, like I don't yell and scream and do all of this stuff. And I find that a lot of people that are on here, they're not here to have debates. They're here to argue. And I'm just like, in my mind, I'm like, if we're here to argue, why don't we argue about something meaningful? Why don't we argue about these people that are making it hard for us to afford gas? Why are we arguing about what somebody else does in their house?
I'm not intellectual, and maybe that's what you are.
You're intellectually very dishonest.
And it's crazy because when I debated this young lady, she didn't give all of this energy.
I've already.
Define
I
woman.
keep on getting against people who are asking the question and they keep on asking the question over and over again. Like they
Okay, so answer the question. Okay, I'll be silent.
Like
Go ahead and answer.
don't work. It's annoying. I've answered the question. I'm not going to keep on answering the same question over and over again. Do you have anything else to say?
Mind you, she's there nursing her baby.
You ask the same thing.
She's nursing her baby.
5 seconds, and you're talking.
Mind you, she is nursing a baby right now. And I think that some people might say, like, oh, you're not a good mom because you're sitting here on TikTok.
Go ahead.
You know,
Wow.
it's interesting that, like, as a mom, as a real woman, you're taking your time in the middle of the day while you're feeding your baby to debate about womanhood, as you should be enjoying one of the joys of being a woman.
Oh my gosh, we intellectually
Right,
honest.
I've already answered the question several times. What else do you want me to say? If you don't accept my answer, you don't accept my answer. Move on to the next question you have.
Define a woman. Like, what the hell?
Oh my God.
Define a woman?
The issue is that when they can't answer a question, they resort to insults.
No, I just think that some people that should have been left on the couch. Like,
That's the problem.
No, there are just some people that should have been left in the psych ward. That's what happened.
yeah, you.
No, you. That's why you can't go ahead.
Because this is the actual reasoning for why they do this. They don't actually want to have a debate or gain understanding. They just want to argue with each
Who says
other.
that trans women are not women, but they can't even define what
Women.
women is.
Trans
Like,
women
what
are trans women. They're not women. They're trans.
the hell?
But we are women. That's the thing. Like, trans women are trans women.
Wow.
Can't even say thank you for saying trans women. Is that not enough?
Wow.
I'm even accepting trans
So
women.
if I said cis women are just cis women, trans women are women, how would you like
think
that?
it's cis women. It's women. I don't know why people came up with that cis women shit. It's women.
So let me copy your form of one. There's no such thing as trans women. They're just women.
This guy is diabolical though. He really be trolling. He really be trolling.
That's total intellectual dishonesty.
Okay.
He really be trolling.
Wow. Tisk. What a joke.
Alright,
Like I'm getting irritated because I keep like everybody comes up here is
Irritated?
slow or something.
What's so
Asking
irritating?
the same question over and over again. They're all saying the same
No.
thing.
You're being intellectually dishonest. Okay. Imagine you walk into a McDonald's, right? And you ask them for a Big Mac, and then they start saying, SpongeBob, big guy, pants okay. You know, that's totally unrelated. Like, that's intellectual dishonesty.
Right.
Anyone would be frustrated when a person is being intellectually dishonest, okay? If a person is trying to have a genuine adult level conversation with you, but you can't do that, that's
And I think that that's the thing also.
Like,
What I'm realizing with this young lady is that she cannot debate. She's not a good debater.
well, thank you both of you for that. For our next debate, we could do. At this point, basically everybody has one besides Randy.
Can I debate somebody who's intelligent, please?
Sure. Does anybody wanna?
What does that mean? Because I didn't want to ask you your question.
Go ahead,
Like-
let West debate, even though my timer's still ticking. Let him debate because
Oh.
actually,
I mean, I'll debate Kagi on this. I'll take a
Like
anti.
Web and Kate should get in the bed together and just do each other at this point.
wow.
You want me to debate you?
And both asking the same question over and over again. And then you like something
Can I debate you?
These people are so funny.
I can't hear you.
The fact that she is reading.
Yeah, so the only necessary condition to being a woman
I
is
agree,
having a gender
Steve.
identity.
Like, I really do.
Guys,
I
alright,
agree.
let's do this. We're gonna do Randy versus.
I'll take on all of them, including Hope.
But why are you including Hope?
Okay,
Like,
go
why
ahead,
you?
guys. Your timer starts now. Randy and Wax.
And see, it's how I
So
have it.
Randy, why aren't trans women women?
Are you the one who wants the absolute, the definition that has to fit to everyone? And if so, let me define what a woman is by defining what a woman isn't. There will never, in the history of trans, be able to give birth.
Who
Now, not all
cares?
women can give birth. You're absolutely right. And that's how you pivot on these simpletons. But no
Simpleton.
trans woman will ever
He just called his
give
own
birth. They never
teams
have, they never will.
simpletons.
So there's your absolute that fits over a whole category. You like to single out just the exceptions to the rules without admitting that there are no absolutes.
Yeah, because when I speak of
there's your
necessary
one
conditions, it has to
absolute,
apply to
one
all.
absolute. You will never, as a trans woman, produce an
The
offspring.
thing that's funny to me is
Yeah,
that
so I
he's
was
talking
just
to
wondering
me
if that's a
without talking to
necessary
me.
condition.
If y'all heard what he
Oh, it is a
said
necessary
when
condition.
he initially
The
came on, he was like,
necessary
"I'll debate
condition.
all of them, including Hope." And then the way that he's framing this, as if he's saying like, "You will never," like he's talking to me without talking to me, and I think that that's like so weird. Like, if y'all, I wish that I had y'all on here. I'm assuming that she's gonna call it a debate soon because he said my name. But
There is nothing's
like,
going
it's
to
very,
apply
to me, that's just interesting. Like, why are we upset? Why are we upset about this?
Yeah, so the only necessary.
Only absolute.
And I think that that's the thing. They use trans as a,
won't produce sperm.
No, I said trans women will never produce.
they use trans as a slur, and that's why they think cis is a
Yeah,
slur.
that wouldn't be a necessary
And that's
condition.
like the thing that's, and they're obsessed with you. They really are. Even when I'm not, like, because I was very, like, the stance that I took was very much so about, like, the social way that we treat trans people, and less about this, whether or not I'm a woman or not. I'm a woman. I don't agree with the idea of trans people naming that they're female, but I am a woman. I'm just not a female, and that's okay. Why does there need to be a debate about this?
See, you're never going to be able to.
Randy, do you want to hear the necessary condition? Yes or no?
The necessary condition is not just because you feel like a woman.
Yeah, the only necessary condition to being a woman is just having a gender identity.
That's it.
Wait,
That's
Randy,
it.
are you a man? Yes or no?
Well, of course I'm a man.
That's having a gender identity.
No, that is because I was
Well, wait, what are we talking about? That's having a
I
gender
was born
identity.
physically a man, and
You
I
can't be born a man. You cannot be born
Well,
a
I
man.
was born a male. See, once
Correct.
again, you fruitcakes also like to get caught up in the semantics of infant,
Fruitcake.
teen, man, woman, child.
Wait, Randy. So like, what if I? Yeah, wait, Randy. Yeah. So what if Randy?
No, Randy. Because I
You just like be quiet.
your
Can you just hush really quick? So what if I were to tell you that some trans women meet the majority of conditions we use to define a female?
The majority.
Yeah,
The majority. But let me tell you the one. Let me tell you the one that they
majority to
won't.
be defined as one. What are we
Let
talking
me
about?
tell you that because they don't fit all of your universal.
Not all.
There are
females.
cisgender women that don't fit all of them. So now what? Like, these debates are so.
The only universal condition that no trans will ever do is have children.
So who cares?
Who
cares?
Yeah, I'm not granting that.
You can dance around.
Who cares?
What are you talking about?
That'd be the part that'd be so funny. Is like, I feel like some trans people don't even want to have kids. There are some cis women that don't want to have kids. Like, who cares?
Every trans fits that female, that universal exclusion. See, you're trying to get caught up in the semantics that everything has to be perfect, and in nature, things are
everything has to
born
be perfect. What are you
If
talking about?
everything was born perfect, all you delusional fuckers that think you're a different sex.
Randy, yeah. So Randy, we have
We're
5
not
conditions that
feel
we
that
use to. Yeah, Randy, we have 5 conditions that we use to define a female.
The name calling for
Some
me.
trans women-
And that's exactly what it is. It's the when they realize that they're losing, it's the fruitcake and you fat. Like that part, like when things start making sense, that's when, you know.
The 5 conditions we use to define a female are
No,
apparently not
your
biology.
definition of female is whatever you're trying to pretend it is. When biology states that in upper forms of life, especially mammals, that there are only 2 sexes.
First
Now,
of
there is
all,
an infinite
I don't want to
amount
debate
of
nobody that I feel
sexual
like could also be a
orientations.
racist.
I will grant you that. And I have
I
no
think for me
problem
that's the
with
thing.
whatever
Like I don't want to
sexual
debate
orientation
nobody
you feel like you
that I feel
are.
like will also call
If
me a
you're a
nigger.
furry, more power to you. If you're a pony, more power to you. If you're a cross-dresser, more power to you. If you're a straight-up bulldog dyke lesbian,
You're debating an
more
idiot.
power
Holy
to you.
fuck. So you're saying that the biological conditions we use to define a female, like, just don't
Are
like
written in
exist?
science, dude. You're either
Like, are we
biological
dead ass right now?
male or you're a biological female. All of your delusions that you can choose.
Wait, Randy,
what you
did you
want
know that in the definition of a
just
trans?
that,
Yeah,
they're just
Randy, in the
your
definition of a
personal
trans
delusion.
woman, it says from male to female.
Trans is a transition, and like I say,
Oh my fucking
you're
God,
delusional.
bro.
You're
Yo,
delusional.
I'm debating an absolute idiot.
No, you're trying to do runarounds on someone who won't allow it. I won't allow your double talk.
Yeah, no.
Yes,
Randy be
definition
using
of
the
trans
N-word when
woman,
nobody's
it says from
listening.
male to
I'm
female.
sorry. Randy be using the N-word when don't nobody be around. I can't.
But see, there is where definition really doesn't fit because they will never be a female. They will look like a
Oh
female.
my God! Yes, some
They
trans
will
women.
act like-
Yes, some trans
They
women are
will
female.
act like a female.
No, yeah. So Randy,
but they
some
will
trans women
never
are
be a
female.
Talk
Yeah,
over
Randy,
me. if you
some
want.
trans women are female because they would meet the majority of conditions
No,
we
the
use to define a
majority,
female.
but the one, like I say, they will never meet that one thing that excludes them universally. See, once
Yeah, I'm
again,
not granting that because not all females can give birth.
well, now not all females can give birth.
He's been saying that since the beginning, Randy.
No transgender woman will ever give birth.
So
that
why?
excludes
And
them.
yeah, not all
Being
females are
a
able to
true
give birth. What are we
female.
talking about?
They were
Holy
born
fuck.
biological male. No matter what they do to their body, they will still.
Yo, not all
die
females have a
male.
vagina either. What are we? Yo,
Say
oh my God,
unalive. Say unalive for me.
yo, this is like not getting anywhere. This is just going to be a circular argument.
Right, because you're an idiot.
You're not accepting the 5 conditions. Yeah, you're not accepting the majority of the conditions used to define a female.
Fundamental scientific facts.
Holy shit. Yeah, so some trans women would meet these majority of these conditions to be defined
Majority.
as a female.
When they have birth, when they meet that one that excludes them, then you
Yeah,
can.
you do
But
realize
until
birth
then-
is not one of these conditions.
But even then, even when
Once again,
science
it
does
is
grant trans women the ability to give birth, y'all are gonna say that the birth is fake. Just like when we started to get bottom surgery, y'all were like, "Oh, it's just a hole." Like y'all are gonna move the goalposts no matter what science does because you are hateful. That's it.
Not all females can give birth. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Don't ask.
Yeah, so
listen,
the ability to
fuck
give birth is not a
you, and
necessary
not all
condition.
females will give birth. Answer my question.
Okay.
How many trans women will give birth? How many? I'm waiting. It's not a large
But
number.
that's-
You don't even have to have a finger to count
That's
it.
not a necessary condition.
Oh, but it is a necessary exclusion.
It's not a necessary condition to be
It is a
women.
it is
Because
the
not-
absolute.
Oh my God.
It is the absolute thing that excludes them, dude. And you will not. You're not.
So are you saying that women
man
who are
enough-
born in wait? So are you saying that females who are born infertile just aren't women when they grow
No,
up?
I'm not saying that.
Exactly.
I'm
So
saying
then
But
they
you
would be a
are.
necessary condition.
No, I'm saying the necessary because I agree with you. Not all females
Okay,
can
then
give
why are you
birth.
saying that? Okay,
Then
then why
why
are you
won't you
making the
agree with
claim?
me that
Yeah, so why are you making the claims that giving birth would be a necessary condition?
It's the fact that Randy is still saying trans women. If you don't believe that trans women are women, then don't call us women at all. But that's what lets me know that these things have nothing to really do with transness. It's everything to do with bias.
The only necessary condition to being a woman is a gender identity.
No, a gender identity.
Hi, I'm watching from India. Hi.
Wait, so Randy, are you?
I got the UK, I got India.
Of course I'm a man.
That's a gender identity.
No, it is not.
It is.
a biological condition that I have embraced my whole life.
Embrace.
Okay, let's we're gonna put a pin in it there, guys.
Love that.
Thank you both of you.
Yeah.
Hey Leisha, how old are you?
I'm 23.
Okay, thank you. What year were you born?
2003.
Okay, and then okay, and then are trans and women? Just say yes or no for me, please.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, so Brittany, you've been waiting for a minute, so thank you. I'm gonna have you debate with Lee since she just came on the panel.
I'm in the middle of getting my kid in from school. You gotta give me a few.
No worries. We can definitely come back to you. MA, I'm gonna have you debate with Lee, since you've also been waiting. Well, actually, hold on. Who debated last? Was it MA or was it Fight?
Yeah, it was me and that other dude.
That
You
other dude.
debated last. So how? After you, it was
Randy and Wibbs, I think.
Oh, okay. So Fight hasn't went in a minute. All right, Fight. I'm gonna have you debate Lee. Thank you. All right, go ahead, guys. Your timer starts now.
Okay. Hi, Lee. You can start off the conversation.
Hi. So I think that trans women are women, because we're typically talking about transgenders, which means they're people who don't align with their assigned gender identities, which is like that's sort of like the gender role sort of thing. So I think trans women are women in that they express themselves using the characteristics, behaviors, and norms and behaviors we as a society have assigned to like females, women, and things like that. Because when people talk about reproduction and chromosomes, like that's more so leaning towards like SMEX and like the biology of things.
So they're just random people on TikTok. These are just random folks on TikTok, and so they join the panel. I'm on the panel. I'm just not talking. And the host basically picks different people to debate. And it's just like something that I do sometimes where I just listen because I want to understand why transphobes are the way that they are. And I also use it to dismantle some of their arguments later.
I'm still a woman, and I still express myself as we have deemed women to express themselves. So I don't know, we don't really gain anything as a society telling trans women they're women or that they're not women. We don't lose anything by allowing trans women to identify as women or just letting I'm not understanding what we lose out of just being inclusive.
That's it. Right. Say that, Lee.
Thanks for explaining your behalf. I'll explain my aspect, and then I guess from there you could pick it apart and we could
say that, Lee.
So with me, right, I believe that in science and biology, everything is named and labeled to keep everything organized, so we know what is and we can identify things. So, for instance, if you look at like a female cow, let's say whatever, it's considered a cow, but a male is a buffalo. If you got a baby deer, that's a fawn. So everything has a name and a category. So in regards to humans, right, humans have a binary, and we also have the life cycle. So we have different stages. We have the baby, the adolescence, teenager, adult, etc., etc. So for me, I think the woman is just the etymology and everything ties to the verbal expression and representation of that stage on the human female life cycle. And I think lastly that we got lost in the social aspect of the word because of a critique or criticism in society. So let's give it, for instance, right? Most women tend to care for their families once they have children. But if a woman has children and doesn't care for her family, someone would say that she's not a real woman. And that is where the social aspect, I believe, is birthed and coined or whatever. And I think that that's why we begin to lose what womanhood is, which is why people are able to or believe that they're able to identify with what is supposed to be a biological label. So that's where I'm standing.
and so I understand, and like I wouldn't say I agree fully. I guess like from my understanding, like yeah, woman and man refers to adult humans, female, male. But there is that additional context, like just with like girls and boys, like as grown women, grown adults, we say like, oh, I'm gonna go hang out with my girls, I'm gonna go hang out with my boys. We're not really talking about children.
Come on, Lee. Come on, Lee.
Like,
come on, Lee.
Girls, boys, those are all attached to gender identities.
Come on, Lee.
I think it's silly when people come up and try to deny that the first definition of woman that comes up is an adult female, which is rooted in biology, but there is a gender version of that, like that word for with a definition. And so I think we're getting caught and where like we think that transgender people want to be that SMEX, where it's just that they just want to express themselves in a way that doesn't align with their like assigned SMEX at birth. Like I don't know, like because I think someone had commented like, oh, it did like we do lose something. Like I'm someone, I think a woman or a man can raise a household, can be a boss babe, or go out into the corporate world and things like that. And I don't know. I don't know why we're like really hung up
right
on like their, I don't know, like it's just a form of expression. Like
right,
tomboys, like a girl who identifies as a tomboy, she's not saying that, oh, she wants to be a male. She's just saying that she aligns more with the masculine.
Exactly.
Sort of to men.
Come on, 23 years old.
Right. And I think the same thing aligns with the Two-Spirit, because I'm part Native American. So when I was looking at my history like years ago, before the 2010s, I actually came across the term Two-Spirit, and it doesn't actually mean like what people think, transgenderism. It means that someone of the opposite sex does the labor or things that usually the other would do. So like a female warrior or female fireman would be considered Two-Spirit. So I understand where you're coming from with tomboy aspects. Also, most of my friends were tomboys. Absolutely, I miss tomboys. But with that being said, right, I think that the core struggle with our debate is, my thing is I'm stuck on biological label, because I'm looking at it on a universal scale. Because we look at women not just in English but in other languages such as Hebrew, Japanese, and other, it's more in line with the biological label than the social aspect. So with that being said, I think your struggle for this debate is to pull me from just believing woman is a biological label, and my struggle is to get you to see that the social aspects could be error in development. Just like the word menace used to mean a group of mice, but now menace means someone that's, bad. Just like the word cute used to mean like cunning, but now it means attractive and appealing. I too think the woman suffers from the same thing as those words did. So I think that's where our debate is.
And so I guess like I'm not explaining well, because like I know you're saying like you don't want to move, or that you cannot detach it from its biological like sense, but that's where I was saying like there's a difference between being transgendered and transsexual. And so
right,
I think if the question was, is a transsexual woman a woman, I would say no, because chromosome wise and things like that, they're not women. But if you're asking, is a transgender woman a woman, I'd say yes, because they are aligning and doing the behavior that we as a society have
agreed,
like assigned, said like this is what women do, this is how to be a woman, this and that. And so I guess like that's kind of like why I don't understand like
exactly
like the sort of like discourse on it. Like yeah, like the biology is SMEX and things like that, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about gender, and gender is a construct.
Right.
That's exactly what we were talking about. So remember, you said you already agreed with transsexuals, and that you said that transgenders are the ones that can make that transition. What I'm saying is the social aspect of the word woman is flawed. So therefore, you can't become a transgender. You can't switch that. So I'm denying transgenderism by sticking to the biological core of the word.
Wait, what?
Well, in that sense, if we're sticking to the biological sense of the word, then because the biological definition of a woman is an adult female, then technically no. But I also think that if we're going to say that, then we need to have, which I think you do very well. You speak very well. Like Randy was kind of just shouting and speaking nonsense. we have to have better ways to communicate and talk about that. Because I clearly understand.
Absolutely,
I
it definitely
saying,
does.
When we're trying to only
It
real
definitely
women
does,
can
Melanie the
have,
cutie.
babies and this and that. That's kind of disregarding the large portion of women who can't do those things.
Correct.
And I also just think it minimizes women down to their body parts and things
Correct.
like that.
Well, I wanted to talk about that. You did raise an interesting point there. So I know okay, so I'm not gonna say it. So I'm gonna say this. So do you have any contention with teaching in biological books that humans have 5 fingers, 5 toes, 2 arms, 2 legs, 1 head? Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I think we should. Yeah. I'll just say yeah.
Okay, so let's say from that aspect. So that means that the core focus or the goal in regards to talking about biology, like what is a woman, what is a man, what's a male, what's a female.
Okay, I see where he's going.
Standard that we have, since we have.
I see where he's going. Yeah. Okay, there's a standard. Yes, there is a standard.
Some are going with 3. Why aren't we teaching that as the standard, and why are we teaching the 5 as the standard?
Because of the majority.
And so I think, yes, it makes sense to teach this 5, and I don't think we need to have a whole lecture or I just think if we're teaching things like that or like this, it's just hey, this is the standard, this is what's typical,
right?
But still respect and
the fact that there will be differences, there will be anomalies. Yes,
makes perfect sense, because I wanted to. I guess I'm going to land my plane here. That when we use the argument that some women cannot bear children, it's due to a mental, well, not a mental. Sorry, let me fix that. A biological or some kind of defect. So you still have your human body. You're still a woman. It's just that you're limited due to a health issue. Would you agree there or disagree?
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah, so therefore you can still be a woman and not give birth, but the core focus is meant for you in your DNA to give birth.
Yeah, I'm just saying when Randy and other people who are their way of disregarding trans women being women is just by saying they will never have children, but there are from birth women, well, you can't be born a woman, but from birth, females who will never have kids, and so they're still women.
Thanks for that, Lee. You're an excellent debater, by the way. I love how clear spoken you are.
Thank you. I enjoy talking to you. But Zero, you can definitely catch your fade because you're not saying none of that to my face.
Ha! Ha! Bitch, Lee is 23 and she ain't come to play.
For that debate,
love it. Love that respectful debate. That is how you debate.
Set list or no?
Can I say something real quick outside of debate?
Who would you like it to reference it to? Or is it just a general statement?
Repetitively, over, the past few people that I've spoken, they always like to bring up women who can't reproduce or women who don't have ovaries. Conditions like that happen to 0.02%.
It still happens. That's why it's not a necessary condition.
0.02%. Okay.
You do realize a necessary condition has to apply to all.
Just because I drop a motor out of a car doesn't mean that car isn't
so a necessary condition has to apply to all.
That doesn't mean you're not a human anymore. You're just different.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm saying a necessary condition has to apply to all. That's why I wouldn't grant those as necessary conditions.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's why I said that being a woman is a mix of biology and lived experience.
And trans women have lived experience.
What's going to be the biology and lived experience?
Biology is biology. You can't change biology. And lived experience as a woman is something I experience as a woman that you will never experience.
That's not true.
Yeah, so for the biology part, that's going to be circular, so I don't grant that. So, what's going to be the biology of,
it's not circular, though. Listen, before we had words,
what's going to be the biological makeup of a woman? Go ahead.
How do you think cavemen knew the difference between a man and a woman? You like to sit there and say gender is a social construct. No, it's not.
Yeah,
it's a biological.
It is a social construct because they were treated differently based off of the things that they were able to do.
And I'm asking you to name the biological makeup of a woman. Go ahead.
The biological makeup of a woman is the ability to create life.
That is not the only function of women.
Just because you don't grant anything doesn't mean anything.
Randy, shut the fuck up.
I open grant too, so I'm asking for the necessary condition.
Okay, so wait a minute. Why wasn't it okay for that lady to dress up as blackface and say that she was black? Why wasn't that okay?
Because bitch, that's racist.
Why not?
Don't start. Don't start, pussy asshole.
Transracial doesn't exist.
Why not? If somebody
Because they come from negative standpoints.
So are you saying that gender and race are going to be synonymous?
I'm saying if everybody can go based off of how they feel, how come somebody who feels a different race is pushed onto the table?
Are you saying that
gender
and race are synonymous?
I never said they were synonymous. Answer my
then
question.
why are you bringing up race?
We're going based off.
If you're not, if it's not synonymous, what's the
Unless you guys want
point?
to actual debate. Okay, moving forward, there's no such thing as, oh, I want to make a statement, I want to do this, this, and this. Either you want to debate or nothing else, because this is what it's going to turn into. You can't make a general statement and not expect somebody to respond to you respectfully, Brittany. But you can definitely say, I want to debate with Wax, but not any of that, respectfully. Melvin? I'm so sorry. Melvin, how old are you?
I'm 28.
28, okay, thank you. And then our trans men and women, just say yes or no.
No, they're not.
Okay, I do thank you for coming up, but we're currently looking for a yes. Yeah, guys, our no team is still filled up. We're just looking for another yes to continue. Hey, Pop, how old are you?
I think Pop was the one who did debate me. Because they were the one asking me questions in the comments.
Oh, okay. Oh, and they dropped. All right. Hey, no user. How old are you?
18.
18. Okay. And a no can come up. So the person I dropped, I forgot their name, Melvin or some shit like that. If you want to come back up or work us back up, there's a spot open for you. Yeah, of course. Fight. Have a good night. Thank you. A no user. How old did you say you were?
18.
18. Okay, thank you. And then our trans men and women, just say yes or no.
Oh.
Okay, we're currently looking for a yes, so thanks for coming up. Yeah, guys, only come up if you're a yes. Hey, Prince, how old are you? You there, Prince?
40?
Not 40.
Oh, another no can come back up, or can come up. The last person I dropped, no user, I believe. Yeah, you can request back up. Prince, I'm so sorry. How old did you say you were?
40.
40. Okay, what year were you born?
1985.
Okay, and then our trans men and women, just say yes or no.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, perfect. All right. Yeah. So just looking for one more now. Do request up to share your thoughts. Hey, no user, welcome back. All right. So
the whole "what if someone wants to change their race" debate is so disingenuous. Race is external and gender is internal. Exactly.
Okay, who would like to go besides the new people, or actually?
I would like to go with that guy who said yes.
With Prince, yeah, for sure. Go ahead, guys. Your timer starts now.
So, Mr. Prince.
This gonna be
My
messy.
question is this. Let's say we put 100 people that are trans. They are men, right?
Yes.
They want to be woman.
Okay.
Let's say we put them all
On an
one
island, and then
Yes.
we left them
Are
for
they going
100
to be
years.
reproduced, or what's going to happen with them after some years?
Who's on the island?
100 men that wants to be woman.
100 men. Well, what if you have 100 women who are females? Will they have kids?
Eight.
So the same.
Ate you up. Because your stupid ass was trying to use an analogy from somebody else and you didn't realize that that's not how the story works. It's supposed to go if you put 100 men and 100 trans women on an island with your stupid ass.
They still reproduce.
With your stupid ass. That's what you get. We knew where you were going, but you didn't get there because you were too busy trying to get to the point.
Will they reproduce?
We have 99 men that wants to be woman, and we have one man, real man there. Are they going to be reproduce? After
No.
some years?
What
They
if we
can't.
have one man and 99 females that don't have ovaries? Will they reproduce?
Ha! Bitch!
What is ovaries?
What do you mean? What are ovaries? This man is on here debating on whether or not trans women are women, but he doesn't know what ovaries are?
The chances are yes.
Get out of my face. Get out of my
There's
face.
no chance. If the female doesn't have eggs, there's no chance for having a birth.
Who is taking eggs out of them? What are you talking
Let's say they have a
Christ.
medical condition, or they ate certain.
This man don't even understand how pregnancy works.
Chemically altered their eggs somehow, right? Or they just genetically can't produce, or maybe they're 50. Maybe all the women that are 55 years old, 99, 55-year-old women who are in menopause. Will they have children?
Okay, let's increase the number. Let's have 1,000 women. Okay.
It doesn't matter how many. It doesn't matter how many.
So will they reproduce after some years?
Hey, girl.
What kind of women are they?
We are having same example, right? Vice versa. We are having 900. We are having 900 men that wants to be woman, right? And we have 100 men. Will they reproduce in some years? They will not. Same thing. We do same example, vice versa. We have 900 women that wants to be men, and we have 100 men. Are they going to reproduce after some years?
They won't reproduce.
Because guys, with your concepts, right? There is no more reproduction, right?
That's not true.
Life ends with you guys.
That's not true.
In the same way that there is no continuation if all the women were, say, menopausal women. But we're not arguing that all women need to be menopausal, nor are we arguing that all men need to be trans women. But there's a very, very small minority of trans women that exist in society. Say 1% of society is trans women. That's a very, very small percentage.
That's a small ass percentage.
Yes, but still you are just playing a role, right?
Ugh.
For example, a man that wants to be a woman, he's not really a woman. He just wants to play a role.
What about a woman who can't give birth? Is she just playing the role of a woman as well?
Giving birth, there are some people who go to doctors, they check themselves, they have nothing, no issue, nothing, and they still can give birth. Why? Because to give birth, in my opinion, as far as I have knowledge, to give birth, the spirit has to come for the baby, right? If the God doesn't allow that, you are not going to give birth, basically, if you are a woman. But there are people who have no problems at all and they still not give birth.
So, but we were talking about what is the necessary.
Because, baby, I knew that if that did not give.
What I'm trying to do is create a Venn diagram of what is a woman and what is a man. But I'm unable to complete my Venn diagram of my definition of a man and a woman because I haven't yet identified what is the requirement for identifying some entity as a woman versus a man.
If you see two small childs, okay, they are, let's say, 5 years old. If you see them, are you able to identify if they are a girl or a boy?
Not always.
They're 5
Just
years old
looking
now.
at them?
No.
Have you lost your senses?
What?
TikTok debate.
I'm looking at them clothed. I'm only looking at them as clothed children. I'm not going to be able to tell if they're a boy or a girl. No. Except maybe based on their clothing or the length of their hair and things like that.
And those are social constructs. And those are social constructs.
Think that women and men, real women, have same energy when they are near to you?
I don't believe in those energy things. No.
So, but what you consider a woman then?
That's what I'm trying to identify. So what is the necessary condition for a definition of a man and a woman? Both.
First condition, you have to born that way. First condition.
Born in what way? Because there are examples when somebody gives birth and the child is held in the hands of the doctor, and by observing the child, there have been cases where they're identified as a female, but then they find out 10 years later that it's actually a male.
Yeah, they find out after 10 years, they've been in this sick, I don't know what to put a name for it. They've been feeding this information wrongly, and they suddenly change.
No. They have undescended male parts. Right? It happens where the child is born with undescended male parts for some genetic reason. And then later on,
he doesn't understand the word undescended, baby.
So that child, for the first 10 years of their life, has been raised as a girl without knowing that they're actually a boy.
He does not understand undescended. You gotta keep it small, boo. You gotta keep it small.
I think most of the trans people, in my opinion, right? I think most of them are possessed.
So now we're talking about things that are...
Yeah, now we're talking about... He's trying to shift it to his religious beliefs. You missed it. He tried to do it earlier. Yeah, you missed it earlier. He's trying to take you to the evangelical route. You got to get up out of there. You got to get on up out of there. Because this man is not intellectual enough to have this conversation. So he's trying to drag you quite literally to hell.
Sometimes the doctor makes a mistake. Yes.
You can find out if a baby is a boy or a girl when it's in the belly, right? So you don't need at all for...
No, you can't. There's a significant percentage where it's misidentified, both in the belly and at the time of birth. It's misidentified at the time of birth, even. Because of the anomalies in just how the appearance of human organs, where there's either an enlargement or an underdevelopment of certain members, which leads to a misidentification of that child as the wrong gender. It's a very small percentage. I'm not saying it's maybe less than 1%, maybe, or 1%. I don't know the exact percentage of births, but it is a significant enough percentage, yeah. It happens.
Don't you think that those people have some... Look, personally, I have played violin for some time, for 5 years, and I had a woman in my group. She wanted to be a man, right? In Sweden, I was at that time, and after some years, she changed because she tried to put that... to take some medicaments, to get birth, taking out the breast. Anyways, it's her decision. I have nothing wrong with them at all.
Sure.
But what's the point? You know, what's the point?
It's her business.
Yeah.
And now his business. What is the point of you being upset?
If she's going to die, if she's going to die.
Say unalive. Hold on. Say unalive for me.
My God.
She is going to be unalive one day. And this is someone just grabbed her,
This guy is not even from this country, and he's been using the talking points of the right wing clearly to formulate his opinion about this outside of his own, prejudice from his country, which is also very interesting. And that's why I tell people that what we consume and what we see in media is also very important.
Okay, thank you both of you for that debate. I just want to kind of make a general statement in a way, not to say that either one of you are kind of going in this direction, but let's try to keep religion out of this,
right?
Because I don't think religion belongs in this conversation, mainly because not everybody believes in the same. Not everybody is religious. Not everybody believes in the same God, whatever the case is. So yeah, moving forward, just no religion talk, all that good stuff. But hey, Dollface, how old are you?
Hi, I am 21.
Okay, thank you. And then what year were you born?
2004.
Okay, and then are trans women? Just say yes or no.
No.
No, okay. And then hey, Kimbo, how old are you?
No. I'm 23. It's Femba. I'm just on my other account because I'm too lazy.
Hi, baby. Welcome back. I know you're a yes, of course. Okay. All right. So
no.
Let's do.
Do you mind if I go?
You have. Who said that? I'm sorry. Was it?
It was me, Finley.
Yeah, of course. I was gonna say Hope has been waiting for a minute though. So I want to give her the opportunity to debate one more time before you go. All right, no user. I also know you're new, so I'm gonna have you do a debate with Hope. All right, go ahead, guys. Your timer starts now.
Alrighty. Hey, no user.
Hi.
Hi.
So for me, what I really have to say is that I think like the definition of women is people who can give birth. Although there's some like exceptions for people who have like defects, but when in general, like when we talk about concepts, we talk about them in general. So when people are bringing up the point about women who can't give birth, I don't really think it's a valid point, because in general, or the majority of women can give birth, and the women who can't is a really small amount. And I'm not against like trans women or anything, but I believe that there's a difference between a biological woman and a trans woman, or someone who identifies as a woman. And I don't think that a trans woman will ever be a biological woman, and you agreed with that earlier, and I feel like that's generally my point. Yeah.
So I'm not necessarily sure that we should be debating, because I think if that's the point that you're coming at this with, then I agree and you agree. So there's no need to continue if that's what you want to lead this with.
Yeah, I can go with someone else.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Alrighty. Okay, perfect. Well, thank you both of you for that. We're currently, I can see that Wax had dropped, so we're just currently looking for one more yes. So if you do believe that trans women are women, please do request up to share your thoughts. For our next debate, Finlay, I got you. I'm gonna have you debate with Dollface, since they just came up. Did Fem drop? No. Fem did not drop. Who dropped? Oh, it was Wax, but he said that so he would go.
Randy is in the chat saying, I would like to go with Hope.
Okay.
And I'm like, why?
1 second.
So you could be rude?
How old are you?
I'm 31.
31, okay. And then our trans woman, just say yes or no for me.
Like, why you want to go with me?
In that statement.
Good day. Yeah, guys, please do request up only if you do believe trans women are women. But yeah, go ahead, Dollface and Finley. Your timer starts now, guys.
Hi, Dollface.
Hello.
Hi. So, do you want to get started and then we'll swap around halfway through?
Yeah.
So
I
he can
wanted
lose,
to ask
right?
you, what is your definition of a woman?
Woman, somebody who feels like a certain gender, in this case a woman.
Like, that's the crazy part about it.
So,
Like,
can I tell you my definition?
Randy, you want to get on here so you could be disrespectful.
So my definition
like, you
is
don't
a
want to
woman
actually debate
is an
me,
adult
because
female.
and that's the thing. That's the reason why, like, I'm not in a lot of these debates, because I'm not leading with emotion. I'm not gonna yell and scream and go back and forth with you.
Okay.
Like,
So-
I'm a woman because I said I am, bitch. Like, it's just that simple. And the fact of the matter is, you being upset about it doesn't change how I
believe is that we
live.
shouldn't base anything off of abnormalities. So if there's like a small percentage, I don't think we should base everything about women on that small percentage.
I mean, if you view it that way, that's fine, but it's not really a small percentage.
Right, that part. And I wish that they would stop saying that shit.
The fact that
You know how many women can't
millions
conceive?
upon millions of trans people worldwide. And it's not just a case of are trans women women, it's also a case of are trans men.
Right.
Because like it works in both ways, don't it?
The fuck?
Yes, I wouldn't believe in either of them though. I believe that trans women are men and trans men are women.
Okay, well, can I ask?
And you're entitled to that belief.
Shouldn't we?
She's entitled to that belief.
People for
I really want to like end these debates, and when I go into these debates, I go into the debate with the purpose of why are we even
If
debating
you're
this?
talking about like why we shouldn't embrace trans women being women, is I think it can cause a misinterpretation of what a woman is, and it can cause bad outcomes for actual women.
That already happens if you're a black woman.
What do you mean bad outcomes for
right? Because describe those outcomes.
When I mean bad outcomes, I mean like if we pay attention to the bathroom situation where trans women are allowed to go into women's spaces and women's bathrooms. There have been a lot of women who have had complications with that, and they talk about how they feel unsafe in their own spaces. And if we talk about sports, we can also look at
complications like what?
All the women,
because the way that men have been going in and out of the women's bathroom for years,
trans women who
harming women,
sports just because they can't make it in the male sports.
That's the craziest part about it. Because when trans men are out here beating the dog shit out of these cis men in the boxing rings, don't nobody give a shit. But a trans woman can go and lose and y'all care.
There's a reason there's a separation between male sports and female sports.
Child.
Okay,
and
what is that reason in your opinion?
Is there biological differences between men and women?
No.
Okay.
It's not. It's because niggas don't give a shit about women playing sports. That's why there's a separation.
In fairness, it would be more so there's, like I said, there's biological differences. There's different arm spans. There's different strengths. I mean, there was a trans woman who just competed in, I think it was a boxing match against a female. It was either boxing or it was volleyball, and completely knocked a woman out and caused her to have a concussion.
Yeah, but that's what happens in sports. I've seen bitches play against other bitches and get concussions.
Well, that's the thing.
If you are playing a high contact sport, you run the risk. That's not a man versus woman thing. That is a contact sport thing. That's like a dude getting into the NFL and being 5'7" and 190 pounds and then complaining because a 5 foot or 6 foot dude who was 250 knocked him over. That's the nature of the game, my nigga. Like, I'm confused.
But it wouldn't happen to that extent.
It would, and it has. Bitches have knocked other bitches on their ass.
Concussion. It wouldn't happen to that.
Yes, it would, and it has.
Very well could. That would be my argument.
Right, but it has. It's not even that it could, babe. It has. Don't let her gaslight you.
Why shouldn't we embrace trans women for what they want to be? Why are we forcing it on a gender which they were signed at birth and had no say in?
I mean, if we're talking about, like, embracing them as who they want to be, I don't care what they do behind, like, closed doors. It's just when they try and force it on us that they are women, which is scientifically and biologically not true.
Okay, well, why do we say behind closed doors?
Right.
At that point,
because they're adults and they're allowed to do it.
Okay.
But why does it have to be behind closed doors?
Why can't they express themselves like that in public?
They don't. They do not care about
women. I
women.
never said they weren't allowed to express themselves in public. I just said they're not allowed to call themselves biological women or women because it's not true scientifically or biologically.
It is true.
But socially and mentally they are.
Period.
That doesn't apply to any kind of scientific.
It does. And scientists keep telling y'all that, and y'all ignore it, and y'all call the scientists that tell y'all different crazy.
Rich, but that doesn't make me rich.
Yeah, but it's very much different in the case
of people.
If you want to be something, why shouldn't you be it?
Well, if I want to be a dog, can I be a dog?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
You want me to be a dog? You want me to walk around on all fours?
Be a dog, bitch!
You very much want to do what you like with your life.
Right!
Okay, if I want to be a serial killer, should I be a serial killer?
Yes! But the consequences for that is jail.
Hold on. Everybody pause. I love TikTok. F1. If you say it twice, I do need to say that. But you need to say unalive. You can't say the K word on here.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, like you can say like serial unaliver. It's a bit long, but yeah, just for TikTok purposes. Thank you.
Okay, so go on with what you were saying.
I was basically saying, so anything I say I want to be, I can be.
Yes.
If you
that ain't my business.
Why shouldn't you be?
Right.
Should other people have a say in what you do?
Right.
Well, I never said I had a say in what they.
But you are.
Say in what they aren't, because science also has a say in what they aren't. So even if you say you're a woman, that doesn't make you a woman.
Okay, but why shouldn't we call them a woman? Because that's the core of the question.
Because biologically they're not women.
But what effect does it have on you to just be nice?
For women, you aren't a woman.
Okay, but let's also take a look at the mental health side of things. So, trans women and transgender and the whole LGBT community as a whole tends to struggle a lot more with their mental health, and coming out and expressing yourself as what you want to be can highly reduce suicidal rates.
Did you understand that 40% of people who reach the fullness of transitioning still commit suicide?
Because of the way that they're treated afterwards.
I didn't say that either. Hold on. You can't say that either. You need to say unalive for that one. Like,
okay, sorry.
The S word. No, not you, Finley. For the S word, just say unalive. You're good. Yeah, I love TikTok. Have fun.
Yeah, 40% of adult transgenders who fully transition commit unalive. So obviously it's not helping. We're just feeding into the mental illness. And did you know before 2016 it was called a mental illness?
Yeah, until 2016. But you've got to remember, we've advanced as a society.
Right.
We try to advance and include everybody. Shouldn't we?
Right!
I think we should feed into people's mental illness. No. That's like feeding into a schizophrenic's mental illness and telling them that the voices they're listening to is true.
Child, that's not the same thing. Okay. Right, and I love it.
I don't want to go down this tangent.
Thank you, Finley. That Finley is me and I am Finley. Period.
If we can reduce depression rates, unaliving yourself rates, why shouldn't we?
I'm gonna need y'all to help me out when it's my next time to debate.
Okay, should we
and be pulling the statistics and giving me the actual sightings.
Cars cause a lot of death. Should we take away cars?
You have a problem, I think. Have a good day. Guys, come on. I'm not doing this just to be a bitch. This will get my life banned. So, you cannot say that. F1, I love TikTok.
Right. That was a good debate anyway.
Yeah, thank you, both of you.
You do know that if you drop them down from misspeaking, you can bring them back up, but you do right by dropping them down. That shows TikTok that you're not embracing what they're saying.
Right. Yeah. It's nothing personal, Dollface. You just can't say it.
I love her.
But yeah.
She was like, yeah, right.
Hey, yes, I'm Lady P. How old are you?
Oh shit.
Hello, I'm 26.
I love Lady P, but she finna wear their ass out, bitch.
Yes.
Lady P is finna wear their ass out.
Hey, Bernita, how old are you?
Oh. Can I just say quickly, thanks for having me on, but I've got to go now.
Of course. Thank you for coming up. You have a good day, babe.
Thank you.
Of course. All right, so we're just currently looking for one more yes and then one more no. So if you do believe that they're women, / like if you don't believe that they're women, do request up to share your thoughts. But for our next convo, for our next debate, we're going to be doing. Cam has been waiting for a minute, so I'm gonna have Randy debate with Cam. All right, go ahead, guys.
Randy want to debate with me real bad.
Hello, Cam. Go ahead and state your stance, please.
Hello.
Cam sounds like a chain smoker. I can't do it.
Sorry. Yeah, really cares about our women.
I mean, Randy sounds like a chain smoker.
That's really, period.
Period. Bitch, Cam said, yeah, I just believe trans women.
Before we start this, let's kind of set a few ground rules. when we say women or men, we are actually meaning females and males.
No, we
Let's
don't.
not get caught up on the schematics
No,
of
we are
the
not.
difference of age
No.
that turns a
Yes.
child
Those
into
things
a
matter.
full-grown woman.
Those things
Is
matter.
that acceptable?
No.
No, that is not acceptable. Think that female and woman are the same thing. I think one like pertains to biology, and I think the other pertains to like a gender construct.
Well, the reason why I say this is because if I say a woman is born with genitalia from, ovaries and eggs and all of that.
Females.
I don't want you to say, well, no, a woman's not born with anything. They don't get that until they reach puberty. So just for identifying
Exactly.
male versus
Lock
female.
doc. Exactly.
I wish Ava would have put our trans females actually females instead of trans.
What?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear him because I was speaking when he did. But anyway, my stance is a simple one. It's always been the same. You are what you are born with physically.
Nope.
If you were born with the small bone structure of the female, if you're born with the hips that a female is born with versus what males are born with, if you are born with female genitalia, you are a female. Now, I applaud anyone for wanting to be whatever smecks they want to be. You have that right to act as you are, but do I have the responsibility to refer to you as what you would like to be versus as to the smecks you were assigned as at birth?
Y'all give me a second, child. Just listen. I'll be right back.
Like simply about like differentiating between like male and female, like that's fine. Like yes, there are different biological compositions that exist. Like okay, but if we're talking about someone's gender identity, well, whatever is between your legs, it doesn't matter. So.
Once again, I agree with you. Whatever you identify as, that's your personal preference. But do I have to identify you as what you identify as? Basically, let me put it this way. I applaud Hope for everything Hope has gone through, but does Hope expect me to call her ma'am, or does Hope expect me to call her, actually him, sir?
I'm not going to speak for Hope. Actually, Hope you're having a good day, girl. But I'm not going to speak for Hope. But like generally, I think when you're in a space where you're trying to respect another person, like you should like respect like how they want to be addressed.
I was gonna say, no offense, Randy, but like since this is a debate with you and Cam, Hope can't really defend herself / like answer your question. So just try to make it like a general statement.
Because Randy is trying so hard.
Call them this and this. You know what I mean?
Randy is trying so hard. He wants the smoke so bad.
Said that I ought to respect that. Well, shouldn't they respect my integrity?
What integrity? You ain't got none, bitch.
You shouldn't be in a space with each other if it's going to be this much of an issue.
Right.
Well, and so the problem with that is there are no places set aside for strictly trans people. They have to associate with the majority of the heterosexual people that make up this world. So once again, out of respect, should not my knowledge of gender be respected? Should not my desire to
First of all, Randy, if you saw me in person, baby.
Which are scientific.
First of all, Randy, if you saw me in person, baby, you would be begging to call me ma'am. You would be begging to call me ma'am, Randy.
The thing is, I don't think science is relevant here at all. I think when we're socializing with others, I don't think it's any of our business to dictate what they have going on biologically or health-wise or in between their legs.
That part.
I think if we're like addressing people like in a social setting, I don't even think what their gender
Right.
is.
And that's what I'm saying. Like Randy, I don't want to debate somebody who I feel like uses the N-word when nobody's listening. And that's just my personal opinion.
Like gender neutrally.
I don't want to debate somebody who I feel like uses the N-word when nobody's around. Randy gives racist.
I guess. I don't know.
All right. Well, you mentioned social circumstances, and somebody had brought up what I was going to bring up this next time. What about in social competition? Basketball, volleyball.
That y'all don't give a fuck about.
Any sport whatsoever.
Name 5 female basketball players right now. Name 5 female basketball players right now.
Identifies as a female. Is it fair for them to compete against a biologically born
Baby,
female?
Randy wanted with me, but when it comes time, with you all's help, I'm going to give it to his ass.
How like the regulations go, and I'm pretty sure it's especially changing now because Trump is like
he'll only be able to name Caitlin Clark. Exactly.
I think we talk about like
y'all care so much about female sports,
transitioning.
but where's all of this support for the female sports when they're actually competing?
I think it's been an issue in terms of like we see a systemic unfairness. I don't think trans people were like dominating sports or anything like that.
Actually, lately it has become an issue. It has become an issue all the way up till it just went to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court has decided...
Based off of old cases. You don't even know how this works. That case has been in litigation for 4 years.
It is becoming more of an issue because it is coming more into the social consciousness. The rainbow people have decided the whole world should...
The rainbow people.
Coddle them.
First of all, if he feels like this about...
think so, because I think if we're talking about social spaces in general, I think trans people have been using the spaces that they identify with for the past few decades, honestly.
Period!
Slow, radical, anti, like LGBT push that's been happening in this country very slowly, like for the past, like last really to 10 years or like 5 years, really. But like if you're asking me like in terms of like the principle of like if trans people can like play these sports or not, I think it really just comes down on an individual basis. I think like you're gonna have trans people that have like transitioned early and don't necessarily have that quote unquote biological disadvantage because of like the puberty that they actually did not go through. So like I don't know. It's just a case by case basis.
And once again, forcing someone before puberty to make a life-altering choice, to me, is barbaric.
I'm sorry, you said what?
I said forcing adolescents to undergo transitions as minors is barbaric.
Who is forcing children? Who is forcing children?
It depends. If you have like a child who is trans or like gender dysphoric, right? Like it's just gonna depend on the care that they need, like depending on what like severity of gender dysphoria that they have. And also like that's also why we don't really see a lot of like trans I guess surgeries or like hormones like actually happening, because it's like they do go through like the healthcare, and it is like a long criteria that needs to be like addressed for like trans kids. So it's kind of hard to actually just like force them to do that when there's like guidelines that are already in place.
Well, it has definitely been documented where some parents have forced their children.
Where?
Some have coerced.
Pull up a source. Pull up a source. Pull up a source.
And although that may be the exception to the rule, it does happen. But now that's one of the reasons why.
Pull up a source.
Some states regulate it more so than others.
Like Florida.
Okay, period. Well, thanks for talking.
Right. I like these people. These people are like.
Thank you both of you for that. Hey, Kay, welcome back. I know you're a yes. Hey, Trell, how old are you?
I'm 33.
Thank you. And then our trans woman, just say yes or no.
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 Okay. Hey, Suzamine.
Are black men? Are black people people?
21.
Yes or no?
What year were you born?
Do black people deserve rights? Yes or no?
Trans woman, just
I
say
bet
yes or
y'all
no.
will be up here singing a whole different tune.
Alrighty. Okay, so we're 100% even on both teams. Yes, it's me. Or yes, it's me.
Y'all be up here
You
agreeing with
have
people
your
who wouldn't
nails
even
have
spit on
to
you.
debate. So I'm gonna have Trell and you debate. Alright, go ahead, guys. Your timer starts now.
All right, personally, I feel where everyone's coming from with it, the idealistic of it. But my personal opinion, I look at, when I was listening earlier about the girl saying about the serial unaliver, right? All right, so when you look at certain things that they have deemed illegal in the States, like, we can't condone it. It's not saying that we don't give respect to that understanding of what people want to be, but it's the understanding that once you realize what certain things have been allowed, that's where we get to the point where certain things you can't cross that boundary. It's just like me saying how they view certain things that they say is wrong, but other people view it right. Like when you say, okay, it's right for someone older to date someone younger, and they don't have the mental capacity to be able to keep up with you. All right. We know as a society that would be deemed wrong, but it happens all the time. It's still being accepted in certain areas. And it's not saying it's being accepted worldwide, because we see also the slander that comes with it when you look at people in high places that do the same thing. You feel me? Or people that get put into the media on that same note. So I kind of understand where Randall was coming from when he was saying, like, it's a respect value on both ends. You can't make someone respect where you're coming from with it, because there's just like us saying we got to respect the serial unaliver for being a serial unaliver. No one likes that he's not able to still run the streets and still be able to do what he want to do. You feel me? There are consequences behind it. But I feel like the people that, when it come down to a gender understanding, don't get me wrong, I feel that people want to be what they want to be, but you have to also understand who you are. And if someone doesn't address you as that or what you want to be, you still have to respect the value of their mind of saying, hey, maybe they don't want to see it that way.
Yeah, no, but that's disrespectful for no reason. So if a white man walked up to you and called you a boy,
it's just like if you seen someone else.
Okay, so this is not a debate about what is right or what is wrong. This is talk about what is true and what is not.
right?
So
Come on now.
So the statement, the question is,
Baby, Lady P, Lady P, y'all don't know Lady P, but Lady P finna get him together.
Reasons to be able to prove that to be true, instead of like proving whether or not you think it's okay or not. As we know, what has been defined as a woman has changed over the course of over 1,000+ years, and in America specifically, it has changed. It has changed at least 10 times since it was the colonies. I could care less about if you think that we should respect these people. The facts are that we can effectively categorize these people sociologically into the category of women based off of the characteristics that they engage in. So I could really care less about how people feel about comparing them to serial unalivers, all these other things. That's not really relevant. So what I just want is the evidence that's proving that trans women are not women, because we have various dictionaries that have changed their definitions of women, just to meet the fact that people are at large categorizing trans women into what it is to be a woman. The only science that is denying trans women being women in any shape or form would be biological science, and biological science is only one science, and even then they do not have a 100% consensus on what is and is not a woman.
Okay, I'm so sorry. 1 second, gorgeous. 1 second. Okay, so I'm currently in my spaceship, guys. Is there any mods in the chat? Any mods in here?
I can't be multitasking. So that's the reason. Any mods in here? Okay, yeah, then no. Okay. I need a yes mod and a no mod because it needs to be even. It needs to stick to an unbiased live. Okay. Randy, I'm gonna make you a mod. You can be the no mod. I need a yes mod.
Why would you make Randy a mod of all the people?
Okay. Hope, can I make you a mod? Randy, do you plan on being here for a minute?
Oh yeah, I'll be here as long as.
Okay.
I'll be here as long as you need me, but exactly what are you expecting?
I was gonna say it'll probably be like 30 to 40 minutes. Because I'm gonna drive and then I'm gonna be in my spaceship going from and back to my house.
But as a mod, are you wanting us to mod to watch what is being said in the gallery, or exactly what are you wanting from us?
Don't really worry about the chat too much. Just if you see like any dicks or penises, well, they're the same thing. Just mute or block them and mute them. Or if you see anybody like telling you like, oh, you should unalive yourself to the panelists, just block them. That's about it. I don't tone police the mods or the comments too much. And then the panel is.
What you're saying is treat this as if it was mine.
No.
Not mine, yeah. But you'll have like a partner in crime, technically speaking. Hope, do you plan on being here for a minute or no?
I'm gonna be here for a minute, but if I'm honest, I'm actively not looking at chat. I'm like doing a whole different thing.
No worries. Okay. Fem, can I make you a mod, please?
Yeah, that's fine, girl.
Okay, perfect. All right, so just basically for the panel in itself, whenever people come up, just introduce them by getting their age, asking the year, and then if they're yes or no, making sure it's 4 versus 4, like if 4 even on each side, and then setting the timers. That's basically it. And then you can choose who you want to debate, like who debates who. But yeah, that's about it though. I'll reset your times, Trell, and yes.
Watch what I tell y'all. Randy's gonna use this power to finally debate me.
Make sure,
Randy is going to finally use this power to try to debate me. Watch this.
Yes, I understand. Go ahead. I mean, I'll let you go up first, and then I'll come after you. Go ahead.
But yeah, the answer. So that's essentially my point is that I don't really care about whether or not the general public feels like that trans women being women is justified, or that they feel like that they should have to respect anybody. The point is that we just had to get outside of our delusions as a society is not actively recognizing trans people to be part of the gender category that they are identified.
Who you getting all jazzy for?
That is something that is happening.
I'm about to film
it doesn't make any sense
my
to
content.
try and act as if it's not. So
I am about to film my content. I'm not even finna glue this wig all the way down.
What you were saying, this is where we as people run into problems. There's no respect value. Meaning, if I respect a certain thing about you, I'm gonna respect that for what you feel. But at the same time, I do not have to address that. That is also like if we look at society now.
That's not respect, though.
Being a black guy, right? I'm not gonna address myself as a YT. I'm not that. I can go do whatever I want to my skin color. That's still not gonna take away from where I was born into, what I came into. Now, understanding that part is still the respect value that if I still feel like that, I don't have to make someone else feel like they got to respect me for me choosing what I want to be. That is a personal choice.
Yeah, you say that until a white man call you a boy because that's what he feel like.
To make valid for yourself.
You see yourself as a grown ass man, but that white man see you as a boy.
The prompt asks us, are trans women? And to my understanding, that is not the case. You transitioned into that. That does not make you that. That's
what does it mean to transition into something? It means to go from one thing to another, right?
Yes, but that's a transformation that is done personally.
If I transition from my house into my car, am I still in my house?
Okay.
You in your car, but that's a difference.
My car. So there is a purpose to transitioning. There like in no sense of the word of transitioning is there not a purpose? Is there
I
not
told
a
y'all, Lady
tangible
P was finna
change?
get his ass together.
Are the circumstances going to be the same from the point that
Oh,
you
I told y'all,
originally
Lady
at
P
to
was
the point
finna
that you
come
are
with
at
it. I
now?
told y'all.
Things change. That's the whole point of it. If that wasn't the case, then we wouldn't call trans women, and we wouldn't call them anything. They would.
Okay, so people are finna show you. You can't take a house and say you're finna turn it into a car. People are still going to address that house as a house. It's not a car. You might put wheels under it. You might say, hey, I'm going to make it mobile. It can go. It's still going to be addressed as a house. They might say it's a mobile home at this point. And then some people can choose to respect
But that's a type of vehicle. It now becomes a type of vehicle. It is a car because now a mobile home is a vehicle.
It's still not.
But she ain't peeped that, but I'm peeping it. A mobile home is now a vehicle. A vehicle is a type of car. A trans woman is a type of woman.
It was pushing back on you saying that this person is becoming this thing, and that is the entire point of what being trans is. You are changing where you were to where you are at now. So it does not make any sense to even recognize somebody as a trans this or whatever the hell it is if there is no tangible changes. The tangible changes are there. That they are a trans person. They are now a part of the gender category that they transition into. If not, then why call them that?
Reason being said is because that wasn't your original. That's like me taking candy right now and saying I'm finna make it into bubble gum, but that is whatever it is that's transformed. Go ahead.
Who cares if they're no longer like what they originally were? Who cares? The point is that they transition. That's the whole point.
That's it.
Where's that meanings?
It's the point of what you missing, the biological standpoint of it. You were this. So that's the reason why we say trans in front of whatever it is, because you transitioned into that.
But gender is not biological. Gender is a social construct. It is under sociology. It's not sociology. It is a social science.
Yes.
That is what sociology is, and gender is within sociology. It is not a biological construct.
Okay, so I'm going to show you what I mean by that. It's not social because
like
this. A man can also show and exhibit feminine ways just the same way as he has masculine.
But that's a social construct because if you saw me walking down the street, baby boy, you would not call me a man. It is social.
Your physical state that you're in, you're biologically that. Socially, I could be either side. I could be a full man that likes women and still be feminine. There is no. That's what you mean by social. You socially.
No, that's not what I mean. That's not what I mean. That's not what she means.
Part of sociology. So let's just get the evidence that proves that it's not, because it is. So I can show you the evidence that will showcase that gender is in fact a social construct and operates underneath sociology. I can provide you that. Would you like that academic evidence?
Come on. Come on. Thank you, love.
So are you comfortable with getting that evidence or no?
Yes, I'm comfortable with that evidence, but I'm still going to give you the understanding that when you really think about it, people would
evidence, bitch. Journals.
Say this is a social thing. Social is me being able to interact with people.
That's not what social is, baby.
It has nothing to do with social.
Yes, it does, baby.
Act in a feminine way that would make you. They would say, okay, yeah, you act feminine. That's a social thing. Biologically, we talking about the actual physical attributes cannot be ruled into a social understanding. When you understand you are physically this, you transitioned into that. That's where you wanted to address socially in your energy, the energy that your mental put you in, not the energy that your body, your physical.
That's not true.
Nature that you are.
That's not true.
You want that. That's like me saying, like we seen plenty of times. I've seen a dude address himself as a car. He does not run off of oil. He don't got no motor. And if he did put all these characteristics on himself, that means you got to have a motor, which he can interpret that and say, my heart is my motor. My brain and stuff is the steering wheels. Everything else, that still does not identify him in his physical feature that you're a car. You may believe you are a car, but you are not a car. That's the reason why I say it's not a social thing. People take the social part and say you apply it to gender. That is a physical feature. That is not something that you can say socially.
Socially,
is social.
Your feminine energy is your social energy. My masculine energy, the way I act as a man, is my masculine energy. That's how I communicate with people socially. But that does not determine my gender.
Yes, yeah. So I'm just
I love how Lady P.
Source. I have mine right here. So it's titled so my first source is going to be titled "The Social Construction of Gender." And it's by Anuja Agrawal from the Human Rights and Gender and Gender and Environment. And this source is going to be specifically talking about like the historical foundations of gender as a social construct and how this was created. So don't worry. Let me go ahead and tell you where exactly in this source is going to be telling you that.
Yeah, can we
this is going to be on. Please stop talking. This one going to be on page 8.
Please stop talking.
It says here, in a discussion of social construction of gender, we also need to ask how gender articulates with class, caste, race, and ethnicity structures, which in different degrees of combinations shape all societies. It does not require much effort to see how gender is inextricable from these vital determinants of any social organization. To be an urban middle class woman implies holding a different social position than that occupied by an urban middle class man. But the position of an urban middle class woman is also significantly different from and also unequal to one by a poor rural woman. The class distinctions permeate gender distinctions in a manner that may sometimes obliterate the possibilities of gender consciousness to rise above class consciousness. A society stratified along class lines also sustains different patterns of gender relations across different classes with complex social ramifications. So what this source is specifically doing in this particular part is talking about how your social class will impact your gender identity. We saw this as well during slavery, when Black women were seen as property and not actual people. They were seen as animals. They were not women.
Eat it up.
Justified medical racism and malpractice against.
Eat it up.
So this idea that gender is just this inherently biological.
Eat it up, P.
Because of biology.
Eat it up, P.
We've seen this change.
Eat it up, P. Eat his ass up.
At one point, you could be a woman at the age of puberty. There are girls who hit puberty at 10 years old. Is that a woman? I don't think so. So the idea that gender is just one thing. It's just not based on any actual science. So unless you have like an academic source to debunk me, then I quite frankly don't really need to hear it. We can end it. Then before I start talking, I'll just go ahead and cite
at the time out, my son.
I'm not. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cite the APA before I start talking. It's titled, and this is their page from the American Psychiatric Association, titled "Gender Dysphoria Diagnosis," and it goes into a history of gender dysphoria and how.
Okay, Sam, Randy, what are you guys doing?
I just stopped talking to let them give a chance to speak. The time.
No. You're fine. You're fine, baby. Sam, Randy, what's going on?
Nothing. What's up?
Like, you didn't stop them. Like after
I wasn't
they were
gonna
done.
let them get their. The time just ended. I wasn't gonna let them get their last words.
Oh, okay.
Well, and now in a debate, yes, they did slightly run over their time, but it wasn't. It's not like.
Okay, can you do the next person now? We don't need a monologue. Can you guys do the next? Actually, hold on. Can somebody else come up here, please? Is Luca in here by any chance, or Dezo by any chance?
I don't think Luca's in here.
Okay, Luca, can you come up? Are you able to request up by any chance?
Bitch. Bitch. She said, as a matter of fact, y'all hoes ain't do y'all job.
Okay, Dezo's here.
We say, we don't need a monologue. I just need somebody to come on up here.
Hello, was this
already?
Yeah, just.
All right, guys. Thank you. Thank you for the debate. Who are the yeses? Who are the no's?
Currently it's. What did you say you were? Suzume?
No.
You're a no? Oh, okay. Alright, whoever. Oh, the only Hope, Cam, and then yes is a yes. They're only them. Okay,
That's why I like her panels, because she doesn't feel biased.
Okay, so we're just looking for
in
one
my
more,
opinion.
one more yes to fully complete our panel. So, do your request up, guys.
Bro, I hate that the
Sorry, we got Kaz no. All right, I can't available.
I am. If you want, I think Hope was next, but I can go if it's fine. If they're not.
Hope, do you want to go? Who's Bobby?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Bobby, how you doing, Bobby? You're a trans woman? Go first. How old are you for TikTok? Oh, you're no. Okay. All right, just stay on mute. Hold on. All right, Hope, you're up. Hope you're ready.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, how old is Bobby?
No, Bobby, how old are you for TikTok?
Okay, can somebody go get I know or something? Or is there anybody can somebody go get one of my mods, my usuals?
Yeah, sorry, I'm a little
Either Lords or I know or somebody.
Bobby, how old are you for TikTok?
That's capable to do something.
All right, trans women. No. No? All right, stay on mute.
No, not stay on mute. We're looking for a yes. All right, okay. I will be back literally in 30 minutes. Thank you, everybody. All right, okay. I will be back.
Yeah, she cleared the room because she was like, y'all are not gonna do this right. She's like, yeah, y'all are not gonna do this right. So let me go ahead. I'm gonna run my shit when I get back. And I think that was the best thing for her to do, because what I will say is, even though these panels they can be sometimes just very toxic and one-sided and all of the things, I find that of all the people, she has control over her room. She doesn't appear to be biased. I don't even know what side of the coin she sits on, to be perfectly honest. As the host, she's never really told us her views. She's always just kind of, made space for everybody to come in and do the ones and twos, and she doesn't allow either side to be disrespectful, which is a part of the reason why I like listening and on occasion joining the conversations that she has. And what I also like is the integrity that she has for her space. Like right then, what y'all saw is that she was like, I can't be as present. And so if the mods that are going to make themselves available to be present are not going to host it in a way that I feel comfortable with, then I'm also going to end it. And I wish that more people did that, because like I told y'all, if she didn't do that, the second that battle was over, I'm sure that Randy was going to use his new power as a mod to make him and I be the next battle. And I don't understand why. I really don't understand why, mostly just because I got up there and I was just like, look, let's talk about humanity. Let's talk about the fact that we as people, you know what I'm saying? Let's talk about the fact that we as people, we navigate this world differently. And I don't understand why there is a hatred or a disdain for trans people who have done nothing to you. I don't understand why we're not having a 7-hour room about white men. I don't understand why we're not having a 7-hour room about serial killers. I don't understand why we're not having a 7-hour room about the DOJ and what they're doing. And, it's one of those weird things where it's just like, when I enter those spaces and when I enter these conversations, I try to enter them from a space of trying to get people to understand you are mad for the wrong reasons. You're upset for the wrong reasons. You're upset and mad at the wrong people altogether. And once we get into a space where we can name that, where we can own that, where that becomes our truth, I think that we'll be able to be able to navigate that in a way that feels a lot better. Randy is attracted to you and he hates himself for being attracted to you, so he projects it onto you and constantly uses that as his argument. The thing about that is that I would not be surprised. Randy is clearly a white Southern man from Podunk, wherever, and probably has never seen or met a trans person in real life. And now that he's on this panel and he is able to interact with me, because I'm not ever directing anything at Randy specifically, I think that there's a desire to talk to me in a way that, like, I also find that, like, a lot of these men want to, like, belittle and try to devalue trans women by way of, even if you're one of the good ones, I'm gonna make you feel bad because, you know. And I do say one of the good ones because, like, y'all, let's just be honest about this whole thing. There are certain versions of us that people respect and certain versions of us that people don't. And unfortunately, but fortunately for me, I'm one of the people that folks respect. A lot of it is due to aesthetic. Other parts of it are due to the way that I carry myself and handle myself outside of, you know, just being a trans woman. And then the last part about it is just because of my intellect. And I think that I would be lying or remiss if I did not acknowledge those things to be true, because they are. But the thing about it is that when you run into folks like Randy, who are so used to sitting on TikTok, and when they do see trans people in conversation, having, you know, all of these different talks, it's coming from a trans person who is not used to debating. It's coming from a trans person, usually a younger trans person, who is emotional about what they're hearing because people are being rude and disrespectful and all of the things. And so I feel like when people like Randy are, you know, used to seeing that, seeing a person like me is intriguing, but it's also infuriating because all of the things that you want to say, you can't say. All of the lies that you've been told to believe about trans people, you know that when it comes down to me, you wouldn't be able to use those things. And so therefore, I do think that there's a little bit of a curiosity there in trying to see, like, which part of my buttons you're going to be able to press, you know? How can I get on the panel? I would like to saute. I am hollering, but I would love it. So it's TikTok, and the name of the creator is Ava. It's AVA. She does these panels literally every single day. Like, I am sure that she rakes in a couple, you know, $1,000 probably just from doing these TikToks, because she hosts them and she does them for hours on end pretty much every day. There has not been a day that's gone by that I've gotten on TikTok and she hasn't been doing a live about this specifically. So, yeah, if you have TikTok, you know, those aspects you listed down, Pat: beauty, aesthetics, wisdom, and knowledge, coupled with and packaged with them being bewildered by that. Is that why Randy is attracted, yet he hates it? That's why a lot of men are attracted to trans women and hate it. A lot of men don't like to admit that there is an attraction for trans women. Not even because I think that they think that it makes them gay. I think that men who are attracted to trans women know that that does not inherently make you gay. The issue is, and what I think that the problem is that these men understand how they're going to be perceived by people in the outside world. They know and they understand that regardless of how they see themselves, mama and auntie and big brother them are going to see them differently. And it is that lack of access to community in the way that you are used to it, lack of access to perceived masculinity in the way that you were used to it, that really makes a lot of those men jump off a cliff and fall into an abyss. One of the things that I think is the most strong and the most masculine, the most sexy things in the world is having a person who doesn't give a shit about what other people are thinking about them and are going to navigate the world with these people or this person because that's just who they are. I think that my husband and the men that I have dated, because I've always dated men who are not ashamed of me, outside of a piece of trade that I had when I was in college. I talked very fondly about him because he wasn't supposed to be trade. We were friends and it blossomed into something else. And because it blossomed into something else that neither one of us were expecting, this was, again, not a situation where we went into it where he was trade and I was X, Y, and Z. We were legitimately friends. And then on some, you know, it's been a year type shit, and we were very comfortable and close with one another. things turned, right? But I did not go into that situation, nor do I think that he went into that situation with the idea for us to start fucking, right? And so I will say, like, with my chest, that I have had an experience, but my dating career as a trans woman has only been dating men who have been perfectly fine with going out with me in public. I don't date men. I have never, as a trans woman, I have never dated a man that would not take me out in public. That's just not my stilo. And I think that there's also a thing that goes into that, right? There's also a thing that goes into that. There's this perception about masculinity and what it looks like. But like I was about to say, the men that I find to be the most masculine, the men that I find to be the most secure are the men that don't give a shit about what you think. There was a man who I really cared deeply for. And I remember being in Seattle and we were out, and I don't know, like, because this man never gave me reason to feel like, you know, there was shame or there was pause or there was any, you know, thing for me to feel like he wouldn't do this. But I remember, you know, we had just come from like doing an activity and we were walking and he reached for my hand. And, you know, we were holding hands and we were walking, and it was, you know, just like, it was a regular Seattle day. And, you know, we're pushing through, and I had on a pair of cute little boots, little heels, you know, and this man isn't the most tall man in the world, you know, like he wasn't super short, but like, you know, he wasn't tall. And so with my little boot heel on, you know, I was definitely given, you know, tall girl realness. And like, regardless of how cute you may be, people see a tall girl and they stare. And, you know, this man was high yellow. So it's one of those things where it's like they already staring because he high yellow, and they probably trying to figure out if he white. And now they looking at me because I'm tall. And the thing about that I loved was, in that moment, I realized that this man didn't care about, one, if I was getting clocked or not, two, if people knew that there was a romantic connection there, and three, what anybody thought about any of those thoughts that they were having. That to me is peak masculinity. I remember another guy that I used to date. We were in New York. We were walking around like Times Square area, and the thing that makes the thing that makes this situation so affirming for me, because I'm going to tell y'all two other instances that are in alignment with this, but the outcome was very different. But this instance, right? This particular guy that I was dating at the time, I remember we were walking through the Times Square area, and as we were walking through the Times Square area, like I want to say maybe like 50 feet ahead of us, you know, because as one of the dolls, bitch, we always head on a swivel, you know. And so 50 feet in front of us is like this group of dudes, you know, it gave Brooklyn niggas. And so these Brooklyn niggas are like 50 feet in front of us, and it's like a little cag of them. I want to say like maybe 4 or 5 dudes just chilling, minding their business and talking and things. But you know, as one of the dolls, bitch, like we be like, where is this going, right? And so I'm sitting here, and because of the past experiences that I'm going to tell y'all about after I tell y'all about this one, I was a little worried, right? And not necessarily worried about being clocked as trans or whatever the case may be, but just worried about not feeling protected. And what I loved about that moment was that at the same time that I clocked those perceived Brooklyn niggas, my boyfriend at the time clocked those perceived Brooklyn niggas. And when he clocked those Brooklyn niggas, he didn't look up at me. He didn't look around. He didn't try to change our course to go around them or divert from them. He was like, oh, I see what this could be. And mind you, none of this was a communication, whether it was silent or out loud, between me and him. This was me recognizing what I saw to be a potential issue, looking over at him, and this is me telling y'all what I'm seeing him do without having a conversation with me, without looking at me, without like this is just me witnessing him be a man. And so he sees this potential threat and obviously is thinking the same thing that I'm thinking, right? Like, if they clock her, this might be an issue. I don't know if it's gonna have to be an issue, but in the event that it's an issue, I'm ready. Okay? I'm ready. My boyfriend at the time, when we got about 5 feet away from them, as we're walking up and they stop their conversation, and like they, because people watching, right? My boyfriend at the time, he walks into the scene and he says to them, "What's up, y'all good?" And the men couldn't do nothing but respect it. Whether they clocked me, whether they didn't clock me, whether they didn't give a fuck about who we were at all. In case it was going to be an issue, my boyfriend already did it and let them know. Because it wasn't just what he said, it was the way he said it. He walked up on the scene, and as we were walking, didn't slow down his pace. He just looked at them so that they knew who he was talking to. "Y'all good? We good? Y'all good?" And mind you, this is another short king. This is another 5 foot bitch. I'm 5'10". My boyfriend at the time is 5'8", 5'7". And so he, you know what I'm saying? Like, he walk up on the scene like, "Y'all good? Y'all good?" And the dudes responded back like, "Yeah, like everything cool. Y'all all right?" And at that point, I was like, "Yeah, we good. Y'all have a good, all right, y'all have a good one." And to me, regardless of whether or not they would have clocked me, regardless of whether or not they felt a way, whether they saw it or didn't see it, I enjoyed the fact of knowing that I was with a man that saw me as valuable enough to be protective of. I was happy that I was with a man that had the mental endurance to understand that that could have been a problem. And I was also very grateful and happy to be with a man that didn't see it as an inconvenience to protect me prematurely in the event that there was something that they were feeling. He was willing to let them know, "Don't feel it today. Not about this one. So even if y'all are feeling something, this one belongs to me." So I would tread lightly with how you gonna go about this as we walk past y'all niggas. And I appreciated that. I appreciated that. And in other instances, again, where I was dating men who did not have an issue with us being out in public, but when there were similar situations that happened, I had one dude, we were in a hotel, we were leaving the hotel to go grab some food, and there were dudes who were sitting outside of the hotel doors. And I saw them, same situation. And he saw them, but he looks at me, he sees my fear for this situation, and now instead of him addressing it, making me feel calm, he wants to go a whole different direction. And mind you, when we got back from where we were going, they were still sitting in front of the hotel, and we had to walk past them again. And when we walked past them, those men were like, "Oh my God, Miss Lady, you looking good today. All right, brother, we see you." So you went out of your way to avoid. I understand why I would have been, if I were by myself, I might have avoided them by myself, but that's because I'm a woman, and that's because I'm also a trans woman. Men have done some things to me, right? But when it comes down to you being a man who is openly dating a trans woman, I didn't understand the need for you to want to buck that situation out of the strength of what I felt like could only be deemed as, you are not worthy of me having to buck up if I should have to buck up. So I would rather just not buck up because I don't think that you're worth all of that. That's what I took from that. There was another situation where I was dating a guy when I moved to California, and we were walking on Hollywood Boulevard, and there was a group of dudes behind us. And the group of dudes that were behind us, there were 3 dudes. One of the boys was interested. He was just like, damn, like da 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 da. One of the dudes was like, "I don't know. She kind of tall. I don't know, bro. You know where we at? That might not be X, Y, and Z." And the other dude was like, "Man, like mind your business. Like, it ain't that serious. Like, like if it is, if it ain't, like whatever." So we had one person from each part of the spectrum walking behind us. And this conversation is loud enough for me, my boyfriend, his brother, and our other friend that was with us to hear. So we're all hearing it. The only issue was I was the only one that wasn't pretending like I wasn't hearing it. So what ends up happening is the dude who is trying to prove that I'm a nigga is like he's pressed about it. Because the other dude is like, why is it your business? The dude in the middle is like, damn, but she's beautiful. And you are pressed to convince this man that he shouldn't be attracted to me because you just know that I'm a man. And so now he's like, man, I'm finna see, because we can't really see, because like I said, they were behind us. So he couldn't really see my face for real outside of the fact that like when we were crossing the street or whatever the case may be, like you might have got a side profile or whatever. And so he takes it upon himself to speed up so that he can get in front of us, right? And as he speeds up to try to get in front of us, I say, is it really this serious? Because at this point, my boyfriend at the time sees this. Like I said, all of us heard the conversation before he decided he was going to try to speed up. And nobody was like, bro, we're not going to do that today. The brother didn't defend me. My boyfriend didn't defend me. The other friend that we were with did not defend me. And so I had to defend myself. And do y'all not know that after that happened, mind you, it was like a very small skerfluffle. He did that. I was like, is there a problem? Is it really this? Like, what's your issue? The dude in the middle is like, I told you that wasn't a man. The dude on the side is like, see, now you look stupid. The dude who actually did clock, like, let's give him his 10s. He clocked, bitch. But you didn't clock hard enough. And also to me, that says, bitch, you be dealing with the girls. Because how are you so sure? And there are two other men over here saying, like, bitch, we've seen her face. Now it's not giving trans. Like, so what does it get? Like, why? Right? So here's the thing. After that entire right. But after that entire exchange, what bothered me was that we went home and I mentioned it to my boyfriend and his brother was a little like, you know, like, I understand what you're saying. Like, my bad. I just didn't, you know, like, and to his brother's credit, his brother is like one of those low key dudes, you know, like very low key, very like, don't get in the mix of nothing. So I can understand why his demeanor remained the same. But as my boyfriend, I'm asking him, like, you know, like, y'all, you didn't hear that? Like, you didn't feel the need to like X, Y, and Z? And my boyfriend actually chastised me for saying anything to him when he got in front of us, clearly to talk about my transness. And that was the end of our relationship. That was the end of our relationship. Because absolutely the fuck not. Absolutely not. And I don't know. Like, I think that there is, I'm sorry, y'all, my hair is still a little wet and I'm trying to get some volume, but I'm realizing that I didn't do enough diffusing, which is why the hair is not laying how I want it to lay with the floof that I need. But yeah, so it's just one of those things where, girl, you a good one. I would have turned into a Karen that day. You know, the thing about it is when it comes down to men, you either like me, you either love me, you either respect me, or you don't. I don't allow men who don't respect me or love me for real to occupy space in my world. And ultimately, I will say, like, that guy, the one specifically on Hollywood Boulevard, I remember, like, a large part of our relationship I felt was experimental for him. And I think that when I tried to address that, he also got like really offended and like was just like, you can't tell me what I like. Cause I was like, I think you're gay. I don't think that you are, you know, I don't think that you are as pansexual or as open as you would like to believe that you are. I think that you are a gay man who wants to be open to the idea of dating women, but I don't know that you are necessarily a pansexual person who is genuinely and actually attracted to people in a way that would be necessary for a loving and intimate and sexual relationship to take place. Because what I noticed was that we would be in bed and he would always be hard. He would just be rock hard. But the second that it got time for us to like try to do a thing, there was always like, you know, and that's like, well, that's why I tell these men, like, a lot of y'all don't understand that your attraction to trans women comes from your your pull to our energy. It comes from your pull to our aesthetic. It comes from your pull to the things that we possess that you find attractive in any other woman that you would be dating. There are some men that want to be attracted to those things, and it doesn't matter how much they want to force themselves. It doesn't even matter how hard their dicks get sometimes. The desire to actually be intimate, the desire to actually be in space, the desire to actually be in community romantically and intimately and sexually with women, whether they are trans or cis, is not there. And so when I see people trying to say that men who date trans women are gay, I'm like, have you ever met a real gay man? Have you ever genuinely really met a gay man who identifies as gay or who likes, men? And what was very interesting about that dynamic and how that relationship ended was I remember talking to my ex-boyfriend's brother when one of the days that my boyfriend was at work, and I remember him saying Hope, I like you, I fuck with you, you a nice girl. And I just got to tell you, I know my brother. And I'm not going to say that he doesn't like you. I'm just going to say that I've heard him say, oh, I'm pans, oh, I'm open, I'm da 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 da. But he was like, I've never seen him successfully date a woman ever. And, this is coming from his brother. He was just like, look, I hear what he be saying, but I've never seen a woman stick around. And he was like, and honestly, you're the first woman that has been around this long, but I don't think that it's going to last because my brother does not like women sexually. I think that he thinks you're a great person. I believe that he loves your energy. I believe that he loves everything about you. But when it comes time to be in a long-standing committed relationship, I don't think that my brother wants that from you. And he was like, the only way that I think that this is going to work is if you are okay with not having sex, because it feels like that's what he wants. I think I was being set up to be in what would, we didn't have the language for it, but what would have been a lavender marriage with this man. And I don't like that because I don't like to have sex often, but I like to have sex. I like to, I like to do the things with the people that I'm with. And so those things just don't work for me. And trans attracted men aren't gay. They just say that as a deterrent to prevent our relationships. It's a shaming tactic. And I want to really speak about that. I think that when we talk about preventing relationships as a shaming tactic, there was the same light-skinned man. I believe that there was another woman. There was another woman that I believe shamed him into believing that he should not give us a shot. At least a serious shot. I believe that this woman used those shaming tactics because she didn't want him to be with a trans woman. I believe that this woman did not see me as, because she knew that he, dabbled with trans women. But I think that up until me, his dabbling with trans women was specifically sexual. I believe that before he met me, a lot of the trans women that he was entertaining or being with was a sexual connection, or it was something that wasn't really supposed to go super far. I could be wrong, but I think that there was something about me that was different. And when it came time for it, and he made it clear that he wanted to possibly pursue something serious with me, it was very interesting to me how this woman, there was something about me that was made us think of that I just don't think was made us think of when there were other women, that were brought to the table, with this girl who, whose opinion he trusts. And to me, I feel like a lot of people and women and folks and all of that stuff, I feel like they shame men for all of that, they shame men for all of that. And it's one of those things where, to your point, a lot of these men need to realize that these people don't care who you're with for real. They just don't want you to be with people that make you happy, because a lot of these people are not with people that make them happy. a lot of people are out here settling and acquiescing to relationships that they don't really want to be in because you done put in all of this time, or you've bought property, or y'all have had a kid, or y'all have done, you know, all of these different things. And so now there's a desire to like hold on to this idea of what relationships look like, and then you hold that same sort of deal against your friends, against your brother, your family, whoever, like your bestie, because you are not with the people that you want to be with, or because you're not doing a thing that would make your dating life or your romantic life feel more fulfilled. You also do that thing to other people. And I think a lot of cisgender women who know men that are interested in trans women, they are very that. It's very like, oh, you know, I'm with this dude that's broke, and I'm paying the bill, and I'm doing this and that. And so, no, you can't go be happy with that thing over there. Because what I really want to do is I want to go be happy with my little stud girlfriend that I let lick on the kitty after, you know, the club sometimes. But I can't do that. So if I can't go be with her, then you can't go be with her. You know, and I think that there's a lot of like crazy logic that people use in order to make men feel like what they are doing and what they desire and who they love or could possibly love is wrong. Do you think that she liked your ex and that's why she told him not to pursue you? I know she did. I know she did. I know she did. But you know, it is. It is what it is. The thing about a large part of these people and their debates is that they weaponize men's, especially Black men's, desire to, you know, feel masculine. They weaponize that against them. Okay, y'all, Ava is back live, so we finna start the debate again for a little bit at least.
Hey, how old are you?
28, 1998, and no, they're not women.
Okay. All right. So our no team has been filled up completely, guys. So we're just looking for 4 more yeses. So I'm sorry.
Wait, why are you looking for yeses?
So oh. All right. Hey, Hope. Welcome back. I know you're a yes. Hey, Poke is up.
I just watched the debate with T.S. Madison and Nene Leakes, and you will get exactly why trans women and cis women butt heads. It comes down to insecurity and homophobia.
How old are you?
You know the funny thing about that, I feel like that's a cop out.
I was actually saying no.
When we say,
yeah, no worries. And then you said no. Let me move you to the no.
You know, like when we say things like, you know, it's just about insecurity and X, Y, and Z. I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like that gives bigotry an easy cop out.
Just a yes or no.
Of course, yes.
Okay, thank you. And then 7 Mod, how old are you?
Oh,
22.
This cold is trying to kick my ass.
Trans men, women, just a yes or no.
No.
Okay, we're currently looking for yeses, so thanks for coming up.
It's the way that they be saying no. Like, it's the way that they be saying no.
A couple of recommendations to just kind of do open panel, because I guess people just kind of prefer it that way, just so everybody can talk out at once. So, we'll leave it to open panel at first, just so it can be like a flowy conversation, and then as time passes, if you guys want to move to one-on-ones, whatnot, we can definitely do that. But go ahead, it's open panel, so anybody can discuss. Anybody can share their opinion.
Sure, I just want to check the panel here. Does everyone agree here that biology classifies by development?
Yes.
Everybody's in agreement there?
Yeah.
Biology classifies biological categories by development?
As far as physical attributes, yes.
Physical attributes? That's not
My strategy is always to be quiet and let people reveal themselves to me. So I never.
I'm so sorry, give me 1 second, guys. Hey, period. How old are you?
I never talk until I kind of got a sense of who's in the room. So already, I'm already kind of like getting a feel for who's here.
Yeah, go ahead, T.S. Sorry about that.
So, what was wrong about my statement? I can't say his name. Cav?
I'm just asking a question. If you think biology classifies categories by development and not by appearance.
Classifies by your physical development, yes.
Development? Yeah.
Yeah, by physical development, yeah, biology, yes.
For sure. So then you would agree that sex comes from the developmental pathway, right? Not the traits?
The sex is through a physical development, yes. The sex, yes.
Great. That's
however, once during the conception, we're all considered females before the whole chromosome stuff started to kick in or whatever. But yeah.
Do you think trans women are women?
Of course.
Oh, okay. Then to go along here, so you would agree then that traits are not just a sign of sex; it's the developmental pathway that grounds that category.
Elaborate.
Just simply traits do not define sex, right? Just like symptoms wouldn't equal disease. Like a non-functioning organ is still going to be called that organ. Like if a heart stops pumping, it's still considered a heart, not just because it stopped pumping, because it came from, a developmental origin.
You see why it's important to listen? Because he's baiting people. When you don't know what you're dealing with, it's hard to actually debate that thing. And this is why she's flustered. Because she didn't give herself time to hear who was in the room.
Right, are not grounded by traits. They're grounded by a causal developmental history, meaning, a process within the genes expressing themselves, a cascade of genes, not the traits that the genes produce.
I'm not going to speak on. I don't know. I'm not going to speak on anything I don't know, so I'm not going to answer that just yet. Because I can just put my own 2 cents in, but I don't want to because I'm not just going to
That's the best thing to do, sister.
Keep it to myself.
That's the best thing to do, sister.
Can you please continue the heart example, because I have trouble understanding you exactly.
I understand where he's going. I know where he's going.
Traits, right?
But this is why I'm listening.
It's a developmental process, right?
Because I see what he's trying to do. Do y'all see what he's trying to do? Y'all see how he's already setting himself up for later arguments? He's not setting himself up for something that's been placed, obviously. He's setting himself up for a later argument.
Yeah. So the same thing for diseases, right? Like symptoms wouldn't be the diseases, right? Just because you remove the symptoms doesn't remove the disease, right?
Okay, so Cav, where exactly are you getting at, my love?
Just trying to find a basis that we can agree that a male cannot become a female.
Okay, so you do.
Can I answer that?
Go ahead.
Because so when we think of a woman, and when most people think of a biological woman, they tend to think, the uterus and the ability to give birth. But,
Did I say woman or female?
You said woman.
By the way, my English are not very good, so I might use the wrong words sometimes. So please be understanding on that. I'm not trying to misgender anything. I'm not very.
Just get to the point.
Okay, sorry.
See, I don't even like that. I don't even like that. Like the just get to the point. A white men talking crazy. I don't fuck with it. Like white men talking crazy.
Biology. For example, a woman has a uterus, and what happens when women, for example, cannot give birth? Are they less of a woman?
No, because your sex is not defined by the traits you possess. Your sex is defined by the upstream causal process that happens.
Well, on the other hand, though,
Why some organs come? Hold on. This is how biological categories are grounded, right? If you reject this, then you reject biology. So when you reject biology, you reject biology. That means science, of course. What I'm disagreeing on is that
Your
biology itself is a neutral basis for gender. So I'm just talking about sex over here. Well, but sex itself cannot define and argue what a woman should be or is, because in reality, in our conversation about trans women, because this includes living experiences and how we give purpose and how we symbolize our bodies and our body. So can I just ask you a question? Itself cannot explain those relations. Yeah. Sure. Can words have multiple definitions? All right. Words can have multiple definitions, right? Well, sure. Right. If I were to type what a woman is in any kind of AI or Google, whatever you want, one of the definitions is going to be adult human female, correct? Maybe. Sure. Are you denying that one of the definitions of woman is an adult human female?
That's not my research.
I think it's pointless to yes or no question. Well, I'm going to make the point if you just follow along here, right? I'll make the point. So would you agree that that is a definition of woman? Say yes or no. If you say no, then say it again. Because I need to be careful with the words. So I need just to
right.
Bro, say it again. Dude, you pull up a dictionary, you type this question in AI, you type
that's the thing, white men work me. White men in this conversation, I don't like when it, yeah,
to get to my point, at the end of the day, no matter what you think trans women are or whatever the case may be, you can try to convince yourself that trans women are men, and you know very well in your eyes you don't see a man, but you're convincing yourself that you do. That's your delusion. But however, though, I know how I'm walking in this life. At the end of the day, I don't really give a fuck if you or anybody else think that I'm a man. I really don't. I don't think nobody really gives a fuck, to be honest with you. At the end of the day, people
so why do you care that you're a man?
People are based. People.
Hold on. Why do you care if you're
hold
a man?
on. I'm still talking. But when it comes down to human beings, we go based off of appearance and we go based off of assumptions. So when I see you, I'm gonna see a fucking man. I'm not gonna know what's in between your fucking legs. So with that being said, I could just assume that you're a fucking man because guess what? You appear and you talk and you walk like a fucking man. So I'm going to put you in a category as a man and not go further because it's unnecessary for me to want to look into your drawers to make sure that you really are a man. It's really getting ridiculous.
Well, you know what would be ridiculous? You know what would be really ridiculous?
Yes, that's ridiculous.
It's I'll tell you what's ridiculous. It would be ridiculous if somebody, an adult man, right, dressed up like a child and was perceived as a child, and you say that they are a child because they look like a child. That would be ridiculous.
So
if I dressed up like a police officer, right?
So let's get into
it. Have to follow my orders because I'm a cop and I look like a cop. That logic makes a lot of sense.
So I've seen, to be honest with you, I have seen men, grown men. I've even seen women that look very youthful in their face and body, and they look very young, and they're in their 30s or whatever, and they have a height, and they have. Hold on, let me finish. They have I haven't finished, and they have the body size of a fucking child, and I almost looked at them as oh, I thought that was a fucking child. That's a grown ass man, or that's a grown ass woman, until I found out. But the point is this: as human beings, we're going to go based off of what we see. And how it's being presented to us. So for me,
do you think that's acceptable?
What do you mean that's very acceptable? What do you mean?
You think a woman is based on if they are perceived as a woman?
Do you go grab women by the pussy to make sure that they're a real woman?
That wasn't the question.
No, that's a part of the question.
It is.
Asking me. So do you
question? Is a woman someone who's perceived as female?
Yes.
Yes.
Typically,
Okay,
yes.
So then, if adult dressed up like a child, would they now be a child?
No, because you couldn't perceive an adult as a child.
You're not getting it, bro. You're clearly not getting it. Because when I tell you, I'm sitting here
is you want to appeal to one definition, but you want to own the consequences of what that means.
Based off of the opinion. Who is meaning?
Ava, do you want me to drop so that way there's an opening for a yes?
But I know she's a good.
It's because Sir Queen Edna is here. He's meeting people. Guys, I'm currently in my spaceship. Hi, Sir Queen Edna. Welcome back.
But I know. He could take my space.
Anyway, at the end of the day, I know how.
At the end of the day, he was talking and you keep interrupting him, and it's getting very annoying listening from the comment section when he's trying to finish a sentence and you keep continually interrupting like the man that you are. Can you let the man finish what he's saying, please, and stop?
Oh, wow.
Alright, okay.
I'm gonna bow
So
out.
you're mad?
Are you mad? Can Caballero finish what he's saying?
Are you mad?
That you can finish. Not as mad as you are. Not as mad as you are because you can't be a woman.
But you're mad.
So,
But you're mad.
Alright, if you unmute it, I was going to drop you.
I just made again.
There we go. Alright, bye. I don't know. When I'm here, people don't do the over talking. So if you're gonna over talk people, you can go back onto the comment section. Learn to act with some decorum. You're acting like a child.
It's because it was open panel, Edna.
Open panel does not mean chaos. At least allow people to finish what they're saying. He's just over talking and screaming and saying, "I'm not a man. I'm not a man."
Okay, Edna.
So just stop and let people talk. So if you're gonna come up into the panel, you're gonna have to act with some decorum. Acting like that's not gonna make anybody see you as a woman, by the way. You act like a whole ass man. Okay?
Take the floor, and you got this.
So yeah, don't know why we're doing this. It's so unnecessary. Okay. So Sir Zaya, or Zion, I should say, you can request back up as long as you're able to act like an adult. I simply ask you to allow the young man to finish what you see you're doing it. You're doing it right now as soon as you come up. All right. Goodbye. All right. Anyways, who are we looking for, Ava? Are we looking for yeses?
Yeah, only yeses currently.
Okay, beautiful. All right. Susan, is it Suzmeen?
Yeah, can I ask something?
Yeah.
No. How old are you first?
I don't like that
I've
part.
been here before. I'm 21.
So he's a Edna is a gay man who is feminine, who helps to moderate the space sometimes, but they're a person who is not of the belief that trans women are women. And it's just annoying to me.
Who let you up?
Right.
I let myself up.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, if there was any mods up here, you guys could.
No, I'm on two different accounts. I just let myself up.
No, 3 of them.
Oh, 3, yeah. So I just let myself up.
Can I ask you a question, Anna?
Sure. What's the question?
Why don't you ground biological categories in developmental processes?
Why don't I what?
Biological categories, like my argument is biological categories are grounded, right, and classified by development.
Okay.
And it seems like your position is a little bit different than that.
Oh, I don't know what you mean. I don't know what the question. I don't know what the question is, but maybe this isn't the time to do this really until we find some opposition. Let's see. Only request if you're a yes to the prompt, please. Ava, you can't step away, otherwise I can't let people up. You have to stay.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
This is interesting. Anyway, y'all, I'm about to pull up off of here, and I'm about to start recording some videos for next week. Thank y'all so much for joining me. If y'all like this, I'll definitely do it again. Do y'all like this? Did y'all like the vibe of this?
No, I hate the fucking okay, so I'm having the next slide. I basically live in the not country, but
but if you want to be a part of the conversation in real time, they're on TikTok right now. It's Ava, and it'll be like a white screen that says "Are trans women?" So if you want to go and be a part of the stream yourself, then head over to TikTok, look for Ava, trans women, and yeah.
At the light, turn left.
Thank y'all. Thank you, Lockdock.
And I'm not sure about the 2 who just joined.